Yo, welcome. What's good? What's good? Pete Carroll and the Las Vegas Raiders. So we all know the history of Pete Carroll, the coaching experience, the Super Bowls he's been to, the Super Bowls he's won and lost, the championships in college, right? We all know the history of Pete Carroll. Today we are going to break down the coaches we go against and where do we stack up coaching wise against the coaches we played this year. Let's break it all down. Let's get unleashed.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun.
He'll
knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
You know what I like to do? Just follow me on this one.
Hey, that fire.
Yo, Raider Ryan, what's good? Welcome, my guy. Appreciate you pulling up. Let me put on my eyeballs so I can read the message. Thank you for the content and always creating a place for us Raider fans. Nice. Going stir crazy. I mean crazy. To gather and be informed or debate. Either way, it's all one love. Shout out to my guy, Raider Ryan. That means a lot, my brother. I appreciate you. Robert Pena, always in the building. What's good, man? So, let's get into it. Let's break it down right off the bat. Is Pete Carroll a liability? We all know he's a legend. Has the game passed him up? Or has a year off revitalized, rejuvenalized, and re-energized Pete Carroll? We're going to break it all down. So we have Vinny Bonsignor, Vinny B in the building. No, he's not on the show. Maybe eventually one day. I'm working on it. But let's pull this up. Should have already been pulled up. Let's get rid of this. Let's maximize this. All right. Much better. So let's get into it. In the latest article from Vinny Bonsignor, he breaks down the coaches we play, where we stack up. Do we have an advantage or a disadvantage against the coaches we face this year? We'll break it down right off the bat. The Raiders, for the last 3 decades, haven't carried much of an edge when it comes to coaching. I mean, let's just pause right there. Duh. Fucking duh, right? I mean, that's an understatement. We all know this. We lost at least minimum. I counted minimum 11 games. Now, there could be more, but it was 11 games when I went back and watched the film breakdowns I did. When I went back and watched some of the games, the way we lost, the decisions to go for it on 4th down in horrible places, the stupid decisions to run the ball on 3rd and 23, 3rd and 15, over 7 different times, I believe, last season, we ran the ball on 3rd and 15 or longer. Absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, that's an understatement. We were outcoached in many games. I believe at halftime, most of the season, we were competitive. It was the third quarter where we just got totally dominated. We couldn't score points in the third quarter. We couldn't drive the ball. We couldn't even get in field goal range. we couldn't even hold on to the ball. I mean, we all know what happened last year. Coaching was a big part of that, right? Dumb calls and bad situations. Quarterback play was another part of that. We're past that mark, right? So that changed when they hired Pete Carroll. Yes, sir. It all changed. In January, the 73-year-old is one of 3 coaches, along with Barry Switzer and Jimmy Johnson, to win both the Super Bowl and college championship. We all know that. If you don't know, now you know, my ninja. How does Carroll stack up against the coaches he'll square off against this year? Here's a ranking of the opposing coaches the Raiders are set to face. Number 1 on the list, Andy Reid, right? Week 7, week 18. I don't know why that shit's up there. Maybe y'all can see me. So, Reid's 273 wins are 4th most in NFL history. Damn, I wish he would have stayed with the flipping Eagles. The 67-year-old has also won 3 Super Bowls and has made it to the championship game 6 times. Reid and the Chiefs have won the AFC West every year since 2016 and have reached the AFC West title game in 7 straight seasons. That shit comes to an end this year. I'm telling you, that shit comes to an end. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Head-to-head matches. Reid is 3-2 against Pete Carroll and the teams he coached. Next up on the list, Jim Harbaugh. Oh, so the advantage, where'd the advantage go? So the edge goes to the Chiefs. So they're giving this one to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. But a team we've been competitive with, right? With less coaching staff, inexperienced coaching staff, right? And we were still competitive against the Chiefs. So next up on the list, number 2, Harbaugh. Shout out to everybody in the building. Welcome to Raiders Unleashed. If y'all don't know, now you know. Hit the like button. Chiefs fan, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you. I bet you like the first one, right? Advantage to the Chiefs. God, I hate that. Harbaugh has a .685 winning percentage, 55-21-1 in 8. Is the 8th best in NFL history. Though he's only coached in 5 seasons in the league, right? Only 5. Pete Carroll, shit. I think he coached more than that. His first 5 years in the league, right? I think he triple, quadruple. Anyways, we'll get on. The 61-year-old has a knack for building big power teams that muscle their way through success. Harbaugh had a great first season in Los Angeles, helping the Chargers improve from 5-12 to 11-6. Now, timeout. Let's pause right there. If Jim Harbaugh, who only has, 5 seasons coaching in the NFL, 5 seasons. A lot of those coaching years were in college, right? So he's only got 5 years in the NFL. Now, he comes in his first year and takes a team like the Chargers, who were, I think lost almost every game by 3 points or some crazy shit 2 years ago. A 5-12 team, right? With a good quarterback, solid receivers, a defense that just can't get over the hump, and come together when they need to and stick like glue. So he takes this 5-12 team to 11-6 with only 5 years experience, right? Where's his blueprint? Where's his blueprint to make it to the playoffs pretty much every year like Pete Carroll is? Where's his blueprint, right, to make it not to 1 but to 2 Super Bowls? So if Jim Harbaugh could come in and turn around a Chargers team that I believe we've been better personnel-wise, even coaching-wise, for the last couple years. Now, I know they might have a better quarterback. That might not be the situation this year. Might still be the situation. I'll leave that up to you. Comment in the comments below. But why can't it be us, right? So he and Carroll have had a long rivalry dating back to their time in college at Stanford and USC, respectively. We all know that. They butted heads in the NFL. when they were leading the 49ers and Seahawks. Most of y'all should know that, right? Carroll's record is 5-4 against Harbaugh in the pros, including a win in the playoffs. That's huge. That's huge. 5-4, so he's one up on them, and that one up happens to be a playoff win, right? To me, that's big. So the edge is even. Anyone can win that game, which means we could easily split the season 1-1, right? Or we could easily go 0-2, or we could easily go 2-0 with the Chargers. We have the team to do it. We have the team to do it. So we play the Chargers. Wait. Oh. Next up is Sean Payton and the Broncos. We play the Broncos week 10 and week 14. Payton and Carroll both have 170 wins, tied for 17th in most in NFL history. And Payton, like Carroll, has won a Super Bowl. The 61-year-old remains one of the NFL's most one of the NFL's most innovative offensive minds, and got the Broncos into the playoffs in his second season in charge. Payton is 4-3 against Pete Carroll. Now, I've already done my predictions. Y'all see I had to take the record down, but y'all know the record prediction is 12-5. Standing on that shit since day one. Way too early prediction, and it's not going nowhere. But I predicted the Broncos to win the division this year. God, I hate saying that. Their defense is just nasty, bro. They have up-and-coming quarterback. They went and got a dog in Harvey in the draft. Man. So, edge is even. So we have one so far out of the three coaches we play in the AFC West. The edge is even between Sean Payton, between Jim Harbaugh, and we're tied with, you know. Next up, Nick Sirianni with the Eagles, week 15. Sirianni, for all the flags he's received during his time in Philadelphia, ranks 5th in NFL history. What? Wait, timeout. 5th in NFL history? Well, I guess we learn something new every day. I'm glad we can learn this together, because shout out, put a 1 in the chat if y'all knew that. I did not. With a 7.706 winning percentage, 48-20. That's nasty, bro. That's nasty. He's also gotten to the Eagles to the Super Bowl twice and helped them win it last season. The 44-year-old has had some great rosters thanks to general manager Howie Rosen, but he gets the most out of his players, kind of like a Pete Carroll, right? Brings that energy, lets these guys know he believes in them, right? He's got their back. The team's got their back. The franchise got their back. And these guys go and give it 120%, right? Sirianni has lost his one head-to-head matchup with Carroll and the Eagles, lost to the Seahawks 20-17 on December 18th, 2023. So Pete Carroll 1-0 against Sirianni. The edge, even. Next up, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots. Week 1. Vrabel, 49, was hired by the Patriots this offseason. He has helped New England win 3 Super Bowls as a player, then went 54-45 in his previous coaching stop with the Titans. Not bad, right? Not bad. Vrabel's team reflects who he was as an NFL linebacker, tough, physical, and smart. He is 1-1 against Pete Carroll. The edge, they give to the Raiders and Pete Carroll. That fucking hurt. Next up is Dan to the Quinn, right? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Ken, I see you. Leave your comments. Hashtag Raiders if you want them read. I'm not gonna read all the comments no more. It just does me no good. It makes these lives a lot longer than y'all want to be here. I'm pretty sure. So Dan Quinn, right, comes from that Pete Carroll tree. We face him in week 3. Quinn, 54, is 55-47 as an NFL coach. He reached the NFC title game twice and has led the Falcons to Super Bowl 51, which they lost 34-28 to the Patriots in overtime. He did an excellent job in Washington in his first season, helping the team improve from 4-13 to, what was that number? 12-5. I'm just saying, bro. When the stars align, they align, right? Took a miserable Commanders team who had not the greatest roster, right? A lot of holes. Yes, they had Terry McLaurin. They have a little bit of a running game. They have an okay defense. But you know what I mean? So from 4-13 to 12-5 in the first year. Quinn previously was Carroll's defensive coordinator in Seattle in 2013 and 14. The Seahawks went to the Super Bowl both years, defeating the Broncos in Super Bowl 48 before losing to the Patriots in Super Bowl 49 when you should have just ran the damn ball. Just ran it. You had Marshawn Lynch. Anyways, Pete Carroll is 3-2 against his former assistant. The edge goes to the Raiders. Next up, the Miko Ryans, the Titans. This is going to be a bloodbath. Their defense, their secondary. If the Raiders want to trade some players, go to the Falcons and look at their secondary. They have plenty they can give up. I'm just saying. Just a heads up, Raiders. So, Ryans at 40 is 20-14 in 2 seasons with the Texans. He's won the AFC South twice and won 2 playoff games. He can vault higher on the list down the road, but for now, he's still in his early coaching career. Ryan and Carroll have never played against each other. The edge goes to the Raiders. Kevin Stefanski of the Browns. Damn good head coach, right? Stefanski is 40-44. Oh, not so good. With the Browns, and he has taken the team to the playoffs twice. His .476 winning percentage ranks 7th in franchise history. That's fucking sad. That is sad. Furpo Raiders. That's sad, bro. That ranks 7th in franchise history, which shows how difficult life can be. Life in Cleveland can be. Preaching to the choir, bro. We from Raider Nation. What you talking about? Stop the cap. Stefanski 43 is a bright offensive mind who has done his best despite dealing with constant turmoil. We don't know nothing about that, right? Carroll in his lone matchup with Stefanski as Seahawks beat the Browns 20-24 on October 29, 2023. Edge goes to, come on, y'all guessed it. Type it in the chat. The Raiders. Next up, Shane Steichen with the Colts. Steichen at age 40 is 17-17 in 2 seasons with the Colts, despite his quarterback situation being in constant flux. Some of that is on Steichen for not help developing Anthony Richardson, the number 4 overall pick in 2023. Still can't believe he was picked there. Stefanski and Carroll have never coached against each other. Edge goes to the Raiders. Ben Johnson, right? Was supposed to be the Raiders' new head coach. All the signs were pointing to the Raiders going and getting a young, up-and-coming, inexperienced head coach. Shout out to the organization for not pulling the trigger. And when you see the Bears' record this year, you'll know why. I could be wrong, but just remember who said it. Just remember. Johnson, 39, is one of the most highly regarded offensive minds in the game. But what is he as a head coach? We have no idea, right? He helped the Lions finish in the top 5 in scoring offense in each of his last 3 seasons. but he's no longer with the Lions, and he's got a totally different team, right? They've already talks about cutting one of the offensive linemen that they went and traded for in the offseason. Not a great start. Not a great start. Now he gets a chance to be a head coach in Chicago and work with quarterback Caleb Williams, the #1 overall pick last year. Johnson has a chance to be great, but still unproven. Edge goes to the Raiders. Brian Schottenheimer, the Cowgirls. Marty Schottenheimer's son, another former Carroll assistant, is getting his first chance to lead an NFL team this season. At 51, the 51-year-old is the son of late Marty Schottenheimer. RIP to the great Marty Schottenheimer, who won 200 games in the league. Brian Schottenheimer is cut from the same cloth as his father and is expected to add toughness and discipline to the Cowboys. They sure need it. Edge goes to the Raiders. It's starting to be a theme here, right? Liam Cohen from the Jaguars at 39 was hired to the Jags this offseason after a stint as offensive coordinator with the Rams. Buccaneers. Stint with the offseason coordinator with the Rams, Buccaneers, and the University of Kentucky. All right, they didn't fuck me up right there. This is tasked with getting the most out of quarterback Trevor Lawrence, the #1 overall pick in 2021, who doesn't even have stats better than our own Aiden O'Connell, the cerebral assassin. I'm just saying, go look him up. Facts are facts. Cohen is respected offensive mind, but it remains to be seen if he will become a good head coach, right? We play a lot of teams with these questions. Unleashed Raider was good. Appreciate you popping in. Missed you last night. Edge goes to the Raiders. My throat is going to hurt like hell after doing that, but think I'm not going to do it every time. Brian DeBall and the Giants. Week 17. The ball at 50 is 18-32. Oh, God. And y'all still got him there? Y'all still got him there? In 3 seasons? How come the Raiders don't give people this much time? I mean, not like I want a coach to go 18-32 in 3 seasons, but damn. Imagine what this could be, what this team could be if we could hold on to coaches like Del Rio, who should have never got fired for Gruden. You know, like Antonio Pierce, who I believe should have got a shot. Now, I know we moved on to greener and better pastures. But still, I'm saying. Lane Kiffin. I had to. 18-32 in his first 3 seasons with the Giants. Half of those wins came in his first season. Ow, that hurts even more. Stop stabbing Brian the ball in the heart. Jeez Louise. In his first season with the franchise, he might turn things around fast. If he might have to turn things around fast if he wants to keep his job. That's the understatement of the year. What the hell? The dude is 18-32-1 in 3 seasons, and he might want to turn things around fast. I'm just saying. Carroll is 2-0 against the ball. Edge goes to the Raiders. We seem to have a lot of edges. I'm just saying. We'll get them. We'll count them all down. I think this is the last one. Brian Callahan with the Titans, week 6. Callahan at 41 went 3-14 in his first season with the Titans. The team is now set to rebuild around quarterback Cam Ward. Good luck with that. The #1 pick overall in April's draft, Callahan has experience developing young passers, and he was the Bengals offensive coordinator during Joe Burrow's first 4 seasons in the NFL. I'm sorry, Cam Ward is not Joe Burrow. It's not even close, bro. It's not even close. Now, I know Joe Burrow has some dogs and Chase and Jefferson at LSU, but come on, man. Come on. And I know Cam Ward had Restrepo, who didn't even get drafted, and I believe still might not even be signed. Oh, I think they finally signed him. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Woo, he's not Joe Burrow. Edge goes to the Raiders, right? So that is it. Vinny Bonsignor, let's count him up, has that Raiders edge going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, and I guess the rest are even, right? So we'll count 1, 2, 3. Wait, how's that? Oh, my bad. Forgot we play 3 of those teams twice. So the other 3. So even there's only 3. In the rest of the games, Vinny Bonsignor and yours truly, Raiders Rebel, believes we have the advantage over 10 teams, bro. 10 out of the 13 teams we play. Because remember, we play 3 teams twice. Oh, 11. My bad. 11. So it gives us the edge on 11. How do y'all feel about that? Let's get into the chat. Let me close this shit out. Open this wide open. What it do? What it do? Yeah, man. So pull up to this chat real quick. See who's in the building. I know I skipped y'all. I had to get my shit out quick. Killer, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you. Rebel just at work checking in to say, yo, I'll try to check back later. Appreciate you, my guy. Sorry I'm late. Oh, you're going to get a spanking for that. Go, Andy, go. Right? I mean, doesn't bode well for the Raiders. Andy Reid's got the edge on us. They have the personnel on us. I mean, if you really want to look at it, I think we have a better edge rusher and Max Crosby. I don't know what we have better than the Chiefs. A better running back and Ashton Genty. And I don't know much more than that. So that's rough, man. NFL 0.1% of the elite athletes, so anything can happen. That's fact. It's all, like I talked about it yesterday with Jonah Lalu. The NFL is 90% mental. Whether people want to believe it or not, 10% is athleticism, God-given talent, in my opinion. But you can have all the talent in the world, have all the strength in the world, be the fastest, have the best hands, whatever. But if you don't have the mental and believe in yourself and believe or have the determination, to try to be the best, to motivate yourself to be the best, because if you don't believe in yourself, who will, right? So I feel that 100%. The NFL is it's all about mental, and the strong will survive, right? The strong will prevail. And I believe we have a strong team. And when you got a guy like Pete Carroll that brings that energy nonstop, right? He's constantly telling these guys, you see it, in the practices, he's going through every single guy almost, dabbing them up, doing, frog splashes off the top rope and shit, trying to pin guys. He brings that energy, right? People are going to want to play for that guy. Chiefs fan, hit me up, bro. I need a host for the Wild Wild West show. Kenna, drop your information, bro. You lagging. Denver is going to be nasty. But they could also have that quarterback that could have that sophomore slump, right? It happens. It happens to the best of them. We know Sean Payton's a damn good coach. That offensive line is pretty solid, but it's not the greatest. It's not nowhere near their defensive line. So the Donkeys are going to be a threat. They're going to be a threat this year for the whole division. God, I hate saying that. However, there is Lady Luck. And if the ball doesn't bounce your way, if you don't get the calls, if, freak injuries happen, teams can depreciate and go from here to here really, really fast. The Raiders proved that last year. There's no telling what we could have been if our defense could have stayed together and been healthy. We'll find out this year. Hopefully, hopefully we get some Lady Luck on our side, man. We need it. We need it bad, very bad. Chiefs fan 69. I rock my own name on IG. Am I following you, Chiefs fan? I thought I followed you. I'm gonna have to make sure when I get off here. I have to make sure. Denver will win the AFC West. I don't know, Kenna. They look prime too, but don't forget about the Chargers, and we still can't sleep on 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years or whatever it's been for Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting back Rashid Rice, who was killing it before he got injured last year. In the first four games of the season, he was the number 1 receiver in the NFL, I do believe, in yards, catches, yak yards. The dude was on fire. They were tearing it up. And then you add Worthy, and then you add the offensive line that they added this year. Both of them were kind of injured players they took a chance on. If they can get something out of those guys, man, you can't sleep on the Chiefs either. I'm not saying anybody's going to win this. I said, the Broncos have a damn good shot, but I don't think I don't even want to take a chance of predicting who's going to win this division, because I believe it's so up in the air, man. It's wild. This is going to be the most competitive division in football. I guarantee you. Now, I know there's some tough divisions, and I know we play a tough division, right, in the NFC East. But mark my words. Robert Penner, my sister is doing well. What happened to your sister, Kenna? They just made Jack. I think I said a request on IG. Nice. Raiders. All right, let's get into the rest of the shit. Sorry, you're editing. Get back to work. What do we got? Sorry, I haven't been in the last couple of lives, summer classes, and swamped with schoolwork. Aren't you out of school yet? Y'all don't get a break? What kind of shit is that? The cerebral kitten. Stop. Stop with that. Stop. Come on, man. I like the little avatar, though. The cerebral kitten. That's funny shit. It's the cerebral assassin, yo. Cerebral assassin. Unleashed. Stop doing that. Raiders. Man, I'm way behind. Shout out to Unleashed Raider with the $20 smacker. How you been, Rebel? Here's some love for missing the last couple of lives. Well, damn, if you're gonna show love every time you miss some lives, you can keep missing them. I'm just saying. We need all the love we can get over here. Jason Ruiz, what's up, my brother? Glad to see you in the building. Appreciate you dropping by. Raiders. Furpo gonna have me doing this all day. You will stream when I get offline. That's good to know. Yeah, don't be streaming when I'm online. You gotta watch, bro. You gotta watch. Oh shit. Not sure if you saw the respect between Mahomes and Crosby, but I think it was pretty cool and did my heart good. Uh, they have a weird relationship, and I was gonna bring that up, but we'll just bring it up now. Um, the hell is all over my computer? You know, he went on. Patty Mahomes went on the Kay Adams show, Up and Adams, and gave a little shout out to the goat Tom Brady, to the soon to be goat Max Crosby. Hopefully, if he can stay healthy, that's, to me, that's class, right? That's class for a guy. He's even said Max Crosby has sacked him more than any defensive player in his career. They have a funny relationship, right? When it's on the field, they want to kill each other. Max Crosby wants what Patrick Mahomes has, right? He's been one. It's all he ever talks about. The actions don't really show it as much, but you know, he wants what Patty Mahomes has got, and they have that special little bond off the field, but on the field, they're number one competitors, and it makes for damn good football. When the Raiders and the Chiefs play, everybody turns in, right? You don't have to be a Raiders fan or a Chiefs fan to want to watch that game. You want to see what Patrick Mahomes does against a Max Crosby. So, shout out to Kermit. I'm just joking. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes, coming out, having balls, to give our guy his flowers, right? Because he deserves them. Max Crosby has rained havoc on Patty Mahomes. But he should have said something about Malcolm Kuntz, who has been the nightmare for Patrick Mahomes when he 2 years ago, right? Both games, he was just all over Patrick Mahomes. So hopefully he can get that same respect after this year. Maybe it'll take a couple seasons. I don't know. But damn, I hope Malcolm Kuntz can get some of that love and respect too. But yeah, shout out to Patrick Mahomes for having great words to say about our own Max Crosby. And he also went and said a little something about the GOAT, Tom Brady, that I'm not really happy about. Why the hell are you over there helping the Kansas City Chiefs and Kermit trying to get better? Patrick Mahomes also said, and I got to call you Kermit just to poke the bear, that he calls Tom Brady. They talk often, and he still gives him advice. He's still trying to help him. Does he not know? Does he not know that he owns part of this shit right here? Come on. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? That is our rivals and our nemesis. Y'all could talk. Don't talk football. Don't talk football. Don't give him no help. Don't let him know shit about his game, what you think about his game. What are you doing, Tom Brady? Stop with that. Don't make me come find you. Don't make me come find you. Where you at, Rebel? I only see your video. That must have been a long time ago. I'm not bueno. What it do? What it do? I know I'm slow to this chat. Choose what's good. Captain Raph, what's good? Y'all go subscribe to Raph's channel if you're not already. My guy in the building. Y'all go subscribe to Chewy's channel also, if you're not already. And if you're not, damn, what the hell are you waiting for? Raiders. I thought it was late in the month, so I won't be making it to the practice game like I wanted. Man, I didn't think I was going to be anywhere around there, but I might have to fly out a week or two early and try to make the practice game and the 49ers preseason game. Got some family shit going on. Got to go back to Havasu. And I would love nothing more than to make both of those. F the donkeys. Y'all don't like donkeys? That's just rude. That's just rude. What have donkeys ever done to you? Just saying. AFC West will be a big dogfight, toughest division in football. Preach that truth. Preach that truth. That's what I'm talking about. It always has been, even when the Raiders weren't very good, the rest of the division wasn't very good. I mean, it's been nasty, but when these teams play each other, you never know who's going to win. One team could be, 2-15. The other team could be 15-2, and the 2-15, could smack that ass. So it happens a lot. To me, it's always been the toughest division in football. Even when Seattle was in a division, it's always been, a hard division to play. And I guarantee you, other teams in the NFL, when they get their schedule, they're hoping to God the AFC West is not on that schedule. I guarantee you. And it's going to be a dogfight every single game. I just hope we come out on top on these games. Tired of losing. Good job, Unleashed. I can't even spell school. Shit, I can't spell very good either. I got a phone. I just push a button and voice talk to it, and I forgot how to spell every word there is. Technology is horrible. I thought it was supposed to help us advance. Why is it making us dumber? I used to know like 45 phone numbers. Now I don't even know my own. People say, "What's your number?" I'm like, "Hold up. Let me pull it up." I don't know. Summer classes to get my degree early. Shout out to the work ethic. Love it. Y'all give her a thumbs up. Chan, her, him, whatever. Give him a shout out. Grinding through the summertime, trying to finish school early. I love it. Lake Show Raider in the building. Can we please stop changing the Raiders? What? Changing that Raiders bullshit until we start winning? What do you mean stop changing that Raiders bullshit? No. Because win, lose, or tie, boy, it's this shit till I die. So it don't matter what our record is, where we at. And I don't get your question, but I'm not changing nothing. No. Raiders, we're going to do that shit till I'm in the grave. Probably your biggest fan, LOL. Nice. I like having biggest fans. Max respects Mahomes, but Max wants to crush him. Like I said, he wants what he's got, man. He's holding that one thing that Max Crosby, can achieve and hasn't achieved and hasn't even sniffed, right? He ain't even got his finger close enough to smell it. So my guy Jason, Raider Nation, Jason podcast, y'all go subscribe. We got to get together, man. I got to get you on the show. I got to schedule it. I'm slacking. I know you got other shit going on with other content creators, but need to get you pull up. Talk that Raiders shit. Hopefully our line is shored up. And they don't have the opportunity to run right through. Man, I don't know. You got two rookies coming off knee injuries. Are they going to be ready to go? That's a big question. And how ready to go are they going to be? As rookies, can they adapt to the speed? I don't even know what the situation is, but are they out there in camp? Have they been out there in camp? Have they been cleared to get on the field and practice yet? Let me know, Chiefs. But yeah, it's a huge question. If your offensive line can't protect your quarterback, I don't care who your quarterback is, whether it's Tom Brady, whether it's Michael Vick, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's a pocket passer, a mobile guy. If your O-line is trash, I mean, that's the excuse we give for Geno Smith, right? Right? Let's keep that same energy in the nation. We use that excuse for Geno Smith every time his name's brought up. Well, his O-line was bad last year. Well, he had one of the worst NFL's O-lines. And so of our quarterback. So, without an O-line, your offense is nothing. You can't run the ball. You can't pass the ball. So for the Raider Nation, we hope the Chiefs don't get their O-line problems situated anytime soon. But for you, I hope they do. God and family, what's good? What's good, my guy? Bucky the Butcher, the first time joining. What's good, Rebel? Salute. Appreciate you, my guy. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you dropping in. Let me know how you think so far. What you think so far. Cali King 969, new here. What's good, my guy? I appreciate you pulling up if you're still in the building. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get through these chats, but appreciate you for sure. Welcome to the channel. Hit the like button. Think about subscribing. Tickle that notification button. Likes to be turned on. All that good stuff. Yeah, y'all welcome Cali King in the building. Welcome to new people in the chat. It's not often we get new people pulling up here. Can we please quit chanting that Raiders bullshit until we start winning? Nah, man. Nah, we can't. We can't. Maybe when you're in here, we'll think about it. Raiders. Okay, I thought about it. I can't do it. I can't, bro. I can't. It's in the blood. We have to get shit going, right? We got to manifest this shit. If we ain't screaming Raiders everywhere we go, then why are you a Raiders fan? I mean, I wear black everywhere I go. Black, white, silver. I think that's my wardrobe colors, you know. The only one I don't like seeing is Christian Wilkins screaming Raiders. That's rubbing me the wrong way lately. That's been pissing me off. That's been pissing me off. He screams Raiders very, very well. But damn, can you get on the field, please? Captain Queen Candy, what's good? Appreciate y'all. Pen of my guy. Hooked on Phonics works for me. Hey, whatever works. Whatever works. Bro, I'm a dude. I said her, he. I don't know. It took me a minute. Them, they. Fuck, I don't know what your pronouns are. Jesus. Get off me, man. My guy, Robert Pena. Posting the links in the chat. Y'all click on the chat. Go follow the other content creators. I'm Zergis. Yo, Dustin and Piano Man sent me. What's up? What's up? What's good, my brother? Welcome to the show. Win, loser, draw. Oh, Raiders till I die. I think it's win, loser, tie, but we'll go with draw too. Drop the sub. Nice. What else we got? Some more Raiders. Sorry, Lakers guy. Lakers, what you think? Let's get you involved in this. What do you think about the Lake Show? What's the deal with LeBron James? Do we just move on from the old man? Right? Taking up $54 million. He had to buy in. Kind of like somebody else I know that talks about all they want to do is win a championship, right? Win another championship. But you want to take up most of the money on the roster. I don't get it. If you really want to win one more chip before you go, restructure that contract. Give some of that money so we can sign a center. Welcome, but Piano Man is a weasel. Stay away from that weirdo. It's not nice, bro. That's not nice. He's booted from this, bro. He's booted. And he thinks you did it, but I keep trying to tell him it was me. It's just not into the drama no more. I'm too old for that shit. Give me a bit and I'll get in the chat. Good. There we go. Simmons on the field ahead of schedule. Kelsey said he's built like a brick shithouse. Well, I hate the fact that they got him. I'm going to be honest. I really do. I really like that kid, you know, and barring the injury, he's right. He is built like a brick shithouse. He's pretty athletic, you know, agile for a big man. He's got good footwork. He's got good hand speed. and he could be a problem. He can be a problem if he catches on quick to the NFL, man. Good for y'all, bad for us, right? And the rest of the AFC West. But yeah, y'all got two cornerstones right there. If I don't see Andy Reid taking a chance on either one of those guys, if he didn't believe that they had, a chance to be that lockdown, lockdown guys on the edge. But we shall see, man. We shall see. Death Star report. Yes, sir. My guy Dustin. Charles Woodson knows you exist. Well, hit him up, yo, and tell him get on my show. Come on my show. Talk some Raiders shit with me. Hey, got some newbies in here, right? We like the newbies. I love it. I'm locked in. Nice, Cali King. I think my guy Furbo answered your question, Lakers. He said, fuck no. Raiders. If you don't want to hear Raiders, why are you in Raider content creator? That's crazy. That's wild. I don't know a content creator that doesn't at least have some kind of Raiders yell on speed click or whatever you want to say. Gino had a bad O-line and was top 12 quarterback. He was pretty decent. We had a pretty decent line and our quarterbacks were dog shit. Yes, that's facts. 100% facts. Gino also is a mobile quarterback that's supposed to make plays with his legs, but he runs around in the backfield too much waiting for guys to get open, and that's a problem. He took 50-plus sacks last year. I do believe it was 56. So we can make all the excuses we want and say, the O-line was bad. What's the look at Joe Burrow, right? Look at Joe Burrow's numbers. Look at his offensive line and where it was rated. I believe it was rated right there with Seattle's or lower. So that's excuses to me. That's excuses to me. There's no reason in hell why you should have 15 interceptions and 9 fumbles in an NFL season if you're a top 12 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback, a top 15 quarterback, a top 20 quarterback, 24 turnovers and 21 touchdowns. I don't know how you could put people in that category. That's why guys like Chris Sims have him 24th best quarterback in the NFL. That's why a lot of, high-ranking guys have him in the 20s when it comes to quarterback play. We're just buying into him because he's a Raider. I guarantee you, if we were still talking about Geno Smith in Seattle, y'all's numbers wouldn't be up there. You wouldn't be saying he's a top 12 quarterback or a top 10 or a top 6 or 7 or whatever they want to say if he was still in Seattle. And I'm not going to be that dude. I'm not. We keep it real as hell here. And until Geno can prove that he's that dude, that he's top 10 or 15, I'm not saying he's top anything, bro. To me, he's still in the 20s. We've broke it down, and I'll break it down again. The quarterbacks touchdown to interception ratio, and we didn't even throw in the 9 interceptions or the 9 fumbles. We left the 9 fumbles out of the picture. Just breaking down touchdowns to interception ratio, he's not top 20. If you go by facts. Now you can throw completion percentage in there with touchdowns to interceptions, but I don't know how you would average it out to see, where they stand. But in all reality, bro, he's not. He never has been. He's been in the NFL, 9-10 years now? Played 4 seasons as a starter, had decent numbers with a damn good team around him and a defense that was top 15 or better every single year. None of our quarterbacks have had that. He also had a pretty decent running game, not last year because guys were hurt, but the year before that with Fred Walker, I think was a rookie or was second year, had a damn good season. So that's excuses to me for Geno, man. I don't want to hear those. I don't want to hear that shit. Come visit Death Star. I've been on that show plenty of times. Is he on tonight? I might pull up. Chronicles of the Black Hole. I got to get you on the show too. I've been doing this for 51 years. I got 3 rings. Raiders. I got 0 rings. I never played for the Raiders. But I've been alive for 2. Wait, how do you have 3 if you only been here 51 years? I'm confused. I've only seen 2 in my 50 years. I'm already subscribed to Candy, but I hate watching the way people talk to her. Yeah, man, people are garbage. Lake Show says, hell no, he's still the best in the NBA, and I guarantee you we will win another one this year. Bro, how are we going to do that? Now, I know when Luka came over, our defense was top in the NBA for 2 months, but then injuries happened, right? Coaching happened. JJ Redick played all our starters in the fourth quarter, the last 2 games in the playoffs. Didn't sub in anybody. That's bad coaching. You know, LeBron wants those minutes. He takes up a lot of minutes. He's constantly flopping on the floor, laying there, not getting calls, right? While the team comes down and score. For $54 million, you shouldn't be flopping on shit, bro. That's just the way I feel. And the Lakers, I don't see us winning it this year. Maybe 2 or 3 years when LeBron's gone and they build, around Luka, which I don't think they should have ever done. I'm not a huge Luka fan. I like his game, but he's out of shape. He's not a great defender. He's a liability on defense. And, passing and scoring is about all he brings. And if you don't have 4 defenders around him to make up for what he lacks, the Lakers ain't going to be good, bro. Lakers ain't going to be good. What? Oh, you killed me with that "let's go" campaign remark to Jack Canna. Your channel's great, Candy. That shit is crazy to me. NFL news and podcast. Hey, man. Nav literally came into my channel asking for donation. I ain't trying to get into all that shit on here. Don't be bringing that fucking drama in here. Back up. OG Jack D Raiders. Robert Pena, feel free to steal that joke. Thanks, Chewy. I honestly believe we don't care about anyone. Things. I'm not. Stop with that drama in here. Join our getting double-digit sacks this year. Join our double. What? I'm confused. We need double-digit sacks from at least 2 players, I believe this year. Kenny, don't feel bad, Navman. Just upset you're competing with his fan page. Stop. Stop, bro. I'm not trying to get in his drama. That's funny as fuck. Is there really a competition? He has a fan page? Fuck you talking about? Oh, man. Robert Pena. Oh, OnlyFans be popping. I don't know nothing about that. Oh, that's funny shit, bro. All right, what we got in this chat? I swear I didn't do it. Somebody did it. Somebody did it. OnlyFans. Yeah, OnlyFans. How many times are we gonna say that today? I did not lie. I was just curious on what. I missed that. Back into football. Y'all can talk about whatever you want. Whatever you want. You won't be disappointed. You might. I've been alive for 3. I know, but I can't say I remember the first one. I was like fucking 2 or 3 or something. I mean, I've been here for him, but I don't know. I was like, 3 years old and 5. I'm not gonna try to say I remember those. I mean, I do remember the chaos that assumed when we won in 1980 and in 83. I was a little bit a part of that. Oh, you're 60? Damn. Okay, so then I digress. And my questions are answered. So so at least you were 8, right? The first time? See, I was small, very small. Augie and Gino finished 10-7 last year with no run game. So regarding numbers, most of those interceptions, he was under pressure from the wide receivers, tip balls. I believe our O-line is better than Seattle's. I get it. I've said the same thing. But that it's still the point. And your key word right here, when he was under pressure. Under pressure. Now let's talk about the difference between under pressure and not being under pressure. When Gino's under pressure, his numbers drop drastically. That 74 completion percentage goes down to 54.3. 54.3 under pressure. How good is our offensive line? Can we keep pressure off of Gino 100% of the game? No. And the fact of the matter is when he's under pressure is when these turnovers and these mistakes happen. The Raiders don't have an offensive line that's top 10 in the NFL. Hell, I wouldn't even go and say we're top 20 right now. We have to prove, that we're better than that. So right now I got us somewhere, around the 20s. Can we be better than that? Absolutely. Are we? We don't know yet. Passing wise, DJ Glaze gave up a whole lot of pressures. I believe 50-something pressures last year. That's an insane amount. If you got a guy on the right side constantly letting guys free, and I'm not saying DJ Glaze will. I think he's taking that next step, and I think he's going to, be a lot better than he was last year. He was a rookie thrown into the fire. But I'm just saying last year he gave up a lot of pressures. We can't afford to do that with Gino because Gino doesn't play well under pressure. Now, if you give Gino 3-4 seconds to throw the ball, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not going to take that away from him. But the problem with the NFL is you're not going to have every situation where you have no pressure. The Raiders are not going to be able to keep everybody off of Geno Smith constantly. So if he's got to step up in the pocket, or if he's got to take a couple steps sideways, or if he's got to roll out and throw on the run, his accuracy drops dramatically. And I know he was 10-7. But he also had DK Metcalf. He also had Nick and Jimbo, who was one of the top receivers in the league already in his second year. So he had weapons. But the fact is you have to keep him upright and keep the pressure off of him. And I just don't know if we have a good enough offensive line to do that. He's the best quarterback deep ball and top 5 in accuracy. I like our chances with Gino. Shout out to the Bay Area, California. Shout out. And I like our chances with Gino too. If he can stop the turnovers. If you can't control the turnovers, Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, Geno Smith, why not just have Aiden O'Connell in there? Why not just let the kid play, right? Why not just keep going with Gardner Minshew, who did the same thing, ran into sacks, had way too many sacks, had way too many turnovers. We don't know what Geno's going to be, but we do know that Geno has never won anything in the NFL. I do know that Geno's record with teams that are over 500 is way under 500. I also know that Geno Smith in his only playoff game was horrible with Pete Carroll. So there's all that. Now, everybody can jump on the bandwagon and be like, Geno's going to be the savior. He's the next Rich Gannon. He's the next Jim Plunkett. Stop. Let him get on the field. Let's see first, right? Let's see. We already seen the sideline antics that everybody's pumped up about. That's my quarterback, yelling at fucking high school kids, calling them the N-word. Come on, man. I'm just not bought in on Geno yet. Yes, he's my quarterback, and I'm going to back him till day one. But I'm not saying he's top 10 or top 15. That's crazy to me. I'm from the Missouri state, right? The show me state. I'm not from Missouri, but the show me state. Don't talk about it, be about it. I think Lincoln Kennedy said my words on his show the other day. Okay, I'm back. I was watching OnlyFans. Robert Penna, what are you doing over there? I hope you washed your hands before you came back to the channel, Robert. Have some class. Oh, shit. I don't think he does that joke, Rebel. Wait, what? I don't know. Rebel, apologize. I don't get out much. No, that's fine, bro. Maybe because you're on OnlyFans all the time. If you get off OF, maybe you could get outside more, my guy. I don't know. To be fair, Paniel Man blends in well with our chat on your streams, Candy. That's fucked up. So he blends in on her shit, but he can't blend in on my channel? That's messed up, bro. That's messed up. Damn, you started watching the Raiders the year before I was born. Crazy. And Kena started watching the year after I was born. So I'm like the dick in the middle. 75. It's fucked up. Shout out to the 80 babies. 81 for me. Man, we don't 80s babies. Shout out to the X generation. Face blue smiling. I'm not even going to ask what that means, bro. Genty Bowers, smash machine if Geno can get it to them. And that's facts too. Like I'm saying, I'm not. People think I hate on Geno Smith, but I'm just a diehard Raiders fan that keeps it real, bro. I'm not a sheep. I'm not a follower. I've never been, and I don't jump on bandwagons very, very easily. Like it takes a lot. What's AOC stats under pressure? I canceled my PFF prescription because every time I come on here and give stats, people want to talk shit and act like it don't mean nothing, and I don't get no views. So I'm not paying for PFF to know stats for my own personal use. So I can't tell you. If you want, if it means that much to you, I'll go pay for the month and pull them up. But I can tell you, if you want to go look at them, AOC stats under pressure are better than Geno Smith's. AOC stats when it comes to play action are right there with Geno Smith. There's like 12 yards difference last year. So I'm just saying, bro, just spitting facts. AOC under pressure is a damn good quarterback. And if you want to compare his first 17 games to Geno Smith's, the numbers are not even close. Now, you could say Geno played for the Jets, Aiden played for the Raiders, whatever you want to say. The NFL is the NFL. It's still 1% of 1%ers. And it comes down to, character and want-to and mindset. I don't know. Say what you want about Aiden O'Connell, bro. It's not even worth talking about. The kid is a dog, and every time he gets on the field, he proves it. Like I said, 6-1. 6-1 should be 7-0 when the Raiders rush for 100 yards. And nobody still DM'd me or shown me a quarterback in the history of the NFL that has a stat that is 6-1 when they rush for over 100 yards. Because I've been looking all over. I've done hours of research and I can't find one. So when you got a kid that's got numbers like that, how can you not say anything? I don't know. Damn, you guys make me feel young. I'm not bueno. You are young, bro. You are young. I just hope I get to see a Super Bowl in my lifetime. I hope you get to see a Super Bowl in your lifetime too. I really, really do. I hope everybody gets to see the Raiders win. Stockton, California here. What's good, Verpo? In the Stockton. You right up there. You're right up there with my guy from Dustin from DSR and shit. You can watch us in it every year. Except for this year, hopefully. Hopefully. It's got to come to an end, Chiefs fan. It's got to come to an end. All good things come to an end, my brother. No matter what it is. Relationships, brand new vehicles, right? Every good thing comes to an end eventually. It's not if, it's when it comes to an end. And I believe it's coming soon, man. It's coming soon. Andy Reid has had his run there with the Chiefs. Kelsey's on the way out. Mahomes not getting up there in age, but if you look at the how is this man as good as he is? How does he get in shape like he is? The dude's got a bigger gut than I do. I don't know how Mahomes does it, man. But they constantly have turnover. They constantly let good players go once they develop them, and that shit's gonna bite them in the ass eventually. It has to. It has to. You lost to the Bird last year? What? Making his belly laugh like Santa Claus? He lying, Rebel. He's probably not lying. He's probably not lying. Pretty sure he was yelling at another coach. Not a kids. Some Raider fans are just soft. Yeah, ain't nothing soft over here. I guarantee you. And you don't know who he was yelling at. Were you there? Because the video doesn't show who he was yelling at. But I know it was a kid's youth game. So he was at a youth game. So whether he's yelling at a coach or what, like you're coaching a game. Why are you yelling at people? How the Raiders bring you money, right? How they bring you money. It's just nonsense to me. Nonsense to me. Tom Brady even commented on it, right? It doesn't look good for the organization. And I don't care if you're a Raider fan, a thug Raider fan, a rich Raider fan, right? A multimillionaire Raider fan. It doesn't look good for the organization. Just like the shit last year with Trey Taylor in the Kansas City Chiefs Kermit thing. Now, I know it was the guys in the background blowing it out and making it look like he said shit he shouldn't have said. But there's no place for that. In historical franchises, we have enough problems in this organization than people going out and making us look dumb, bro. And, if you're a thug, then you're probably like, oh, yeah, that's my quarterback, right? He Gino's the shit. But, if you're a normal person in normal everyday life, yelling, screaming about how they bring you money and calling people the N-word, just shows class, bro. None. You like school on Sunday, no class. And especially when you're on X constantly, shout out to God, repping Jesus, and then you do that shit. To me, that's alter egos, bro. That's alter egos. And that's all I got to say about that. I know none of you saw it, but during the Super Bowl live on CP Gamers channel, I said I said to the top bottom Eagles were a better team before it started. I'm a fan, but I'm not blind. I didn't see the Eagles dominating like that. I watched a couple of their games, during the year, and I know Saquon was a dog, and I know one of their problems was, stopping the run when they played, dominant running backs. And I know another problem was their offensive line, right? They were getting, they got challenged in a couple of games they shouldn't got challenged in. but they also won a couple games because of bad calls, and we all know that was a fact. But I just didn't see them. I thought it was going to be a competitive game. I can't say I didn't think the Eagles were that much better, if better at all. And I figured it was just going to be another, Kansas City walloping. So I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I figured even after, they were up, I was like, man, Kansas City's going to make it close. They're going to come back in the fourth quarter and it's going to be all for nothing. But they put it on that ass for sure. You are a dick. I can confirm. Who's a dick? What are you talking about? I'm not a dick, bro. That's rude. Here's a gross thought. Andy Reid with the OnlyFans channel. That image is in your heads now. You're welcome. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All of a sudden, I just got this image of Andy Reid butt naked eating a fucking cheeseburger with ketchup and mustard dripping all down his shit, like because of the damn McDonald's commercial. A nugget in one hand, cheeseburger in the other, shit running down his face. Thanks for that image, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. The fuck, man. OG, you trying to emotionally scare us or what? He's trying to. I've been emotionally scarred for life. That's bad, bro. I subbed to Andy Reid's OF, and all it does is eat cheeseburgers and win. You fucker got McDonald's all over. He got McDonald's as a sponsor on his OF. Shit. What the fuck? Y'all are wild. Piano hit Sammy here to say Candy rocks and she's the best. You're probably Piano Man. Stop. What you mean? Piano Man, did you make another account to get in here? Come on, man. How many YouTube channels are you gonna create, bro? That's what I just said. I'm late to the chat, man. That's what I just said. But if it is, shout out for you being respectful and making it this long. It doesn't happen too often. I don't know what I did, but thanks. I thought he hated me. Well, with all the message I constantly got to hear about, he's constantly texting you. I don't know. He might be your biggest fan. I don't know. His name's not even Piano Man anymore somehow. So how else would you know that? I don't know. Piano Man, Hero. This dude got more counts than I got underwear and shit. Who knows? I just appreciate the love, right? And shout out to my guy Piano Man. I kind of miss him in the chat, right? Causing drama, talking shit. But said he found Rev through Dustin's channel, right? It is what it is. He's messaging me on IG telling me what to say. Jesus Christ, Manny, bro. How do I unblock this kid? I mean, come on. That's horrible. I got to figure it out, Piano Man. I'll figure it out. I'll unblock you, bro. You can't be watching my show, messaging other people and sending them in here. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm flattered, bro. I'm flattered. I used to have a Raiders page on Instagram, so I have my connections. What connections you got? I need some connections. Oh, here we go. Piano Man isn't connected to us at all. He's a leech. That's about it. $33, man. I wish I was 33 again. I want to see Roger Goodell at the 2007 draft say with the 32nd pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select. Who though? Who we selecting? Who we selecting at 36? I mean 32. fucking 36. Third. Had a candy moment. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that. It's been 20, how many? 42 years since I've heard the Jesus Christ. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, please, can we hear that fast? Really, really soon. Even if they just make it up, I'll be good with that. You can't win forever. Salary cap is picking last in the draft. I mean, when you pick like the Kansas City Chiefs do, you can, right? When you pick like the Philadelphia Eagles, they got the best damn linebacker in the draft, and Campbell. That was my pick. I wanted Campbell. We needed a linebacker like that. Somehow he slides all the way to 31 and the Eagles swap out one pick to go get him. So, I have to disagree on that. Good coaches, good teams find a way to bring in players that contribute to what they're doing, right? When they lose players, they draft those positions. And Andy Reid is the best at that, bro. Andy Reid, dude over there in Philly, like these guys are pros when it comes to that shit. He's yelling at Piano Man because even Gino don't like his ass. What? Strange to me to see how respect the players have for each other and how low down lots of fans can be. That's that's a damn good point, right? That's a damn good point. But us as fans, man, what else do we have to do, right? I mean, if you can't talk shit on your rivals or hate on your rivals, what fun is it? What fun is it? Yeah, see, my guy Chiefs fan could come in here just fine. Piano Man, take notes. Chiefs fan is from a team that I can't stand more than anything. Well, maybe the Donkeys. So it's not your team, my guy. It's the way you conduct yourself in the chat, bro. He's a shit talking, instigating bitch, and he is banned on pretty much every Raider channel. Yeah, you just can't control the shit talking. So Channel Man comes in the Raiders chat and calls Karens. People ignore the names because he don't bug me. Makes sense. Yes, he's been in the DMs for the last 30 minutes yelling at Bueno. Man, you're breaking my heart, Piano Man. You're breaking my heart, bro. That's fucked up. Dude. No bueno. Y'all gotta squash this shit, bro. You gotta squash this shit. He's over there in an Instagram chat yelling at you that you can't even see, bro. Oh, what the hell? These names, bro. Kanag Pay 86 gang. I don't know. You finally got a good coach. Well, thank God, man, because we needed a good coach, right? It's been I don't even know. Flores, Madden. I mean, Gruden was okay, but we have a historical coach, right? That's a legend in this business. And I guess I really didn't answer the report that I broke down. Is Pete Carroll a liability or a legend? 100%. This man is an absolute legend. I don't care if he's 74, 94, or 384 like they used to live back in the Bible days. Pete Carroll is a legend in this shit. He knows what he's doing. I've said it over and over again. He has the blueprint to win. He has the blueprint to get guys to believe in his system, to pick up what he's putting down. And hell no, he is no liability at all whatsoever. this man is going to shock the NFL. Well, it won't be much of a shocker if you watch this channel or a lot of the other channels. You know, that 12-5 prediction I gave 2 months ago. 2 months ago, before anybody gave any predictions on anything. And I said I would keep it up all year, and I'm going to keep it up. I still feel like there is a chance for 12-5. And, you know, the Raiders have not been talked about as much as they've been talked about this offseason in the last 4 or 5 years that I can imagine. I mean, even with Dick Daniels, there was a lot of talk, but none of it like it is right now, right? A lot of people think this team is the most slept on team in the NFL. And I agree. I agree 100%. I think people are totally sleeping on, you know, how good we can be right away. They're sleeping on this secondary. I hear all the talks about, you know, you have Darian Porter, who's going to be special, and he's going to surprise a lot of people. But when you have a guy like Ja'Cory Bennett, who was our best corner, who's now on the second, you know, getting second team reps, that we don't know where he's going to be or if he's going to be even on this team when camp starts. I got some trades I'll talk about tomorrow when I break down the roster. Make sure y'all pull up tomorrow when I break down the roster, because it's not like everybody else's roster. There's some people on here that I feel are going to make it that nobody has on their roster prediction so far. So make sure y'all pull up, join the chat tomorrow. Geno Asalo for the Raiders. Also, now you'll have a running game for once. I mean, I agree 100%. And I think that's the key to helping Geno, right? Like I said, when Geno doesn't have pressure, he's a top probably 5 quarterback in the NFL. I'll say it. I will say that, because his accuracy. But it's when he's under pressure that he drops dramatically to 25s on 30s. Like, you know, it's not very good. So when you have a running game like Ashton Genty, when you have a team that's going to pound the rock constantly and run the ball down people's throats, when you have a guy like Chip Carroll, well, call him what you want to. When you have a guy like Chip Kelly, who's going to make sure not just one running back isn't involved in the season, but 2 or 3 running backs are involved this year, right? We're not just going to have one guy and, okay, if he gets hurt, then we'll go to the next guy. That's not going to be it this year. These guys are going to get reps. They're not going to be a lot, but they're going to count when they get them, because they know they're not going to get many if they don't make them count. And I think that's the biggest advantage that we have this year over last couple years, is people know your opportunity is not going to keep coming, right? We have depth in the roster. There's other guys that'll come in and battle for your job and take that spot. We haven't had that over the past couple years. We've brought in guys. We haven't, you know, drafted very well. We haven't hit free agency very well, and we've brought in guys that weren't what they were supposed to be, what we thought they were going to be, and it's hurt us, right? It's put us in a deep hole that we're just now digging our way out of. And I think the turnaround is going to be faster than people think. I hear a lot of people, you know, even guys like Lincoln Kennedy, who's been in the building, been around the Raiders, you know, played football, knows probably a lot more about football than a lot of us could ever imagine. He says the turnaround's not going to be right away. But I think, you know, even Lincoln Kennedy's underestimating the power of Chip Kelly not being the head coach, just having to deal with the offense like I've talked about a million times. You know, the fact that Patrick Graham pretty much has to be lights out this year. There's been so much talk about our offense being better than our defense. You know, he was brought back for the 4th year, retained. There's been talk about Patrick Graham taking over possibly for Pete Carroll. There's no way that happens if this defense isn't top 10. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So we have a lot of guys that have shit to prove, right? If Patrick Graham wants to continue being the defensive coordinator, why Pete Carroll is running this ship, this is the year. Because I guarantee you, if we're in the 20s or 15s, I don't see PG being back next year. I don't see it. And then we went and paid Chip Kelly, you know, the highest offensive coordinator in the NFL. He has a lot of pressure on his shoulders as well. So I think our time is now, man. This team is, like I said, it's going to surprise some people. The run game makes all the difference in the world. When you take the pressure off the quarterback, when you can't stack the box, or even if you can stack the box, right? It doesn't matter. When you got a quarterback that's mobile, that can run read options, that can run RPOs, that you can call specific design runs for if you have to, which I don't see us having to be able, having to do that much because of the run game we have, because of the threat. And then fullback situation. We haven't had a fullback on the Raiders since Marcel Reese, I do believe. Is that the last fullback we had? Marcel Reese? Somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Now we have JJ Pegues. Now we have Leaky Fatu. Now we have Mike Mayer. We have guys that we can put in front of Ashton Genty to clear holes, to open space, to make those gaps bigger. Pause. And that's going to be the key to the season, bro. It's going to be the key to this season. Enough about the lame jerks. Welcome anyways. Right? Welcome. Appreciate you. That would be a great pairing as a business partner. McDonald's in Kansas City. Man, don't be giving them. Lawrence, my guy, was good. Appreciate you. Maybe he misses me. I mean, that's fine. He can watch. I ain't blocking him from watching. Your tight end is solid, not all. We have a lot of solid positions, man, if that's what you mean. I mean, we have a first round and a second round pick as starting tight ends. Show me one team in the NFL that has that right now. I would say I'll wait, but I'll be sitting here fucking till that somebody drafts one in the first or second round because there's none. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm always down to collab. If you don't have my IG, it's Raiders Rebel. I don't know if I'm following you, or type yours in the chat. I don't know if you want everybody following your IG, but yeah, we'll get together, man. I definitely. Anytime I could collab with an OG and somebody that's closer to my age instead of, these young bucks, 24, 25, which nothing against them, but I like to pick the brain of the OGs. So yeah, bro, anytime. But our tight ends, man, we have 4 tight ends behind Michael Mayer that all have a very, very good chance of making this team. Not all of them at the same time, but all of them have a chance of being that third or possibly a fourth guy. Because let's be honest, if we're going to run 13 personnel, which is 3 tight ends, right? If you're going to run 13 personnel, 1 running back, you need 4 tight ends. Now, some could say we have Jack Besh that could probably fill that tight end role, in a trip situation or in 13, personnel. But there could be a very, very, very big possibility we keep 4 tight ends. Make sure you pull up tomorrow night to see if we do or not. What else we got? No, I'm not Piano Man. This account has been yet forever. I got subs and everything. He's just Piano Man's voice today. Our typer, I guess, not voice. That's dumb. Not all pro after 1 year, though, in my opinion. Brock Bowers, he's not all pro after 1 year. If that's who you're talking about, that's a crazy take, my guy. Who is wide receiver number 1? Jesus Christ. Well, I'll tell you what, if we had Jesus Christ on our team, that would be a totally unfair advantage because who the fuck could guard Jesus Christ, bro? that would be a totally different advantage. But we do have the next best thing. No, I'm just kidding, bro. Totally blasphemy, I know. But come on, man. We have Dante Thornton, Jack Besh. We have Jacoby Myers, who finally had his first season over 1,000 yards, 0 drops last year. You saying we don't have receivers? Come on, man. We got receivers. We got tight ends. We got a running back. We got everything Geno needs to be a top 10 or 15 quarterback in the NFL. The only thing we need is Geno to believe he can be that guy and to not turn the ball over, man. That's all we need from Geno. Make plays when it's your time to make plays and don't give the other team the ball. And the Raiders are good, bro. They're good. Can anyone answer that? What are we answering? Who is wide receiver 1? Wide receiver one right now, as far as I know, it's not the wide receiver one, but he's at the wide receiver one spot, and that'll be Trey Tucker. That's as far as we know right now going into camp. Trey Tucker is number one. Dante Thornton could possibly, be that third guy. And our second receiver will be playing the slot in Jacoby Myers. Now, that could all change. And I'm sure it will. I could almost guarantee it will. Because I don't see Trey Tucker being our number one receiver when the season starts. If anything, it's going to be Jacoby Myers back over there. Probably Jack Beck in the slot. And probably Dante Thornton on the other side. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And then we'll try to stretch the field, getting Trey Tucker snaps when we can. That's how I see it. He misses you too, Rebel. Should let him back in. Please don't let him back. No, he's definitely not Piano Man. We're just giving you shit, my guy. I don't have no beef with anyone. I was just sent here not knowing any of the background. Well, man, I will be a man and apologize for Piano Man to throwing you into that situation. And, I don't have to apologize for anybody in the chat because most of my chat is respectful. As long as Piano Man's not in here, the chat's pretty good. So, I apologize for you getting thrown in and not knowing the background. But yeah, that's the background. Piano Man trolls the shit out of Raiders, Raiders content creators' lives, videos. For a Chargers fan, he's in everybody's shit. So, but the guy's an okay guy. Some of the time, I think he might be 3 or 4 people. I don't know. Some of his messages when he messaged me on IG make sense. And then other times I'm like, what the hell is this dude talking about, bro? Jack Best, you believe, is wide receiver number one. Now that's a hot take. That's a hot take. I mean, Jacoby Myers was our number one last year, right? And I think Jack Beck is a little bit faster than Jacoby. He's a lot more physical, a little bit stronger, and does, plays the same role as Jacoby Myers. So that could be a very, very, very big possibility and a pretty hot take. He could probably step up and be that dude. But first we have to sign him. None of the second round players are signed yet, thanks to the Cleveland Browns and who else? I don't know the other dumbass team, but both of them went and signed their second rounds to guaranteed contracts. And now the whole NFL is shook up and no other second round player has been signed yet except for 2 because everybody wants guaranteed money now because the Browns and whoever the other team was screwed it up for everybody. What are you meowing at? Where are you at? 32 won the Super Bowl. Yes. Do you think Genty? What's this? Do you think Genty is going to do 2,000 yards? I'm not smoking that. Oh, good Lord. I thought that thing was never going to blink. I'll answer that in a second. Oh. Holy shit. Woohoo. Holy Jesus. Okay. Back to the show. Do I think Ashton Genty will go for 2,000 yards? I feel like Ashton Genty can go over 2,000 yards. And here's why. Back in the day, I think Eric Dickerson ran for was it Eric Dickerson? I think he holds the record. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I believe it was 1,800 yards. as a rookie on the ground. That's not all purpose. That's on the ground. But he carried the ball over 300 something times. I think close to 400 times. Now, are the Raiders going to run the ball like that with Ashton Jeanty? There's a very big possibility. Chip Kelly likes to pound the rock, right? Or, you know, Chip Kelly likes to pound the rock. Pete Carroll likes to pound the rock. They love to run the ball down people's throats and be physical. But with having Mostert, you know, probably Zamir White, possibly Alabe or Sincere McCormick, you know, I don't see him getting that many touches, but I still see him getting over 20 touches a game. That's my prediction. And if he gets over 20 touches a game, I see him easily going over 1,200 yards. Now, granted, he has to stay healthy. He can't miss any games. You have to be out there all 17. But I could see him getting, I think I predicted somewhere around 1,300 yards and another close to 4 receiving. So that's 1,700 yards. That's where I got him. Now, like I said, there is that scenario where a Geno Smith gets hurt. I'm not, you know, there is a scenario where instead of our defense getting absolutely destroyed with the injury bug last year, that it could be our offense. And if that happens, look for Ashton Jeanty to carry way more of the load. You know, it's not going to be like a Saquon Barkley load or, you know, Travis Henry load, but it could be. It could be. And if he comes out the gate hot and shows, you know, in his first game, bro, 100 yards rushing, I think they're going to feed this kid. And I think they're going to feed him and feed him and feed him until he explodes. And if that happens, he could, you know, he could make some noise. I'm not putting him up there at 1,800 yards or breaking no records, because the key factor to this is the offensive line. When it comes to run blocking, our offensive line is weak. They are very, very weak. Our best side to run on was Colton Miller, a guy that was injured most of the season, had a shoulder problem, you know, wasn't 100%. And that was our best side to run the football. So with that being the case, man, that's not good, right? That's not good. Now we have improved a little bit. JPJ is now the full-time center. We don't know who's going to be guard, right? Is it Parham? If it's Parham at the left side, that makes the left side, to me, I think, a little vulnerable, because the dude's only 285. His best asset is pass blocking. It's not run, it's not run blocking. And you could say the same thing about Alex Kappa, which I hope it's not Alex Kappa. I hope they go with Caleb Rogers. And then you have Jordan Meredith in the mix. Now, Jordan Meredith was our best run blocking offensive lineman. So if he doesn't even make the team, I have a lot of questions. But I see him getting close, you know, over 1,000. I'm gonna say that guaranteed. If he's healthy, over 1,000. But the numbers, like I said, could be anywhere between 12, 13. And there's a very good chance he could have 2,000 yards, man. I mean, think about it. A guy you can't tackle, a guy that's a bowling ball, that bounces off of guys, that's explosive. With the weapons we have, with the quarterback we have, that's a mobile quarterback, right? He has a lot more with the Raiders organization than he ever had at Boise State. Let's be honest. And look what he did there. So there's a huge possibility that this dude could be way better than everybody thinks he's going to, could ever be, and break all the records. And that's what I hope for. That's what I hope for. It takes Rebel a minute to get to the chat. Yeah, it takes me a long time, bro, because like and sub, the only Raiders chat that accepts acceptance of different people, right? Like Little Red Riding Hood. K Gang, are you a Raiders fan? He wants to know. You're a Pete fan? So you come from Seattle? $1,200 yards. 1,200 what? Question yards. Yes, 1,200 rushing yards on the ground. I was a senior in high school when the Raiders won their last Super Bowl. I'm 60 now. Damn, bro. I thought I was old. I'm just fucking with you. Shout out to the OGs in the building. Gladdy Raider, what it do? What it do? Run for fun, throw for dough. Man, I hope that's the case, right? I hope that's the case. I hope the only time we got to throw the ball is for those money downs, right? Long situations, deep throws over the top, stretch the field, touchdown Raiders. That's what I'm seeing. Fairly new to the whole football thing. Got you. Let's say I love football, so I respect all organizations. Nice, nice. I'm really the youngest person here. All right. How old are you now? I love it when the youth watch an old man like me talking Raiders shit. OG Jack Daniels. So where you from around when cars weren't even invented yet? Right? The bitches cars had wooden wheels and shit. You had to kickstart them like the Flintstones. The division are even itself. Wait, the division are even itself out. The division will even itself out is what you're trying to say, I think. And it will be a tight race. Each team will split each other like it used to be really tight back in the days when we were good. Shout out to that, man. I hope that's the case. But for my guy Chiefs fan in here, I really hope we sweep the Chiefs. Almost 18. Oh, shout out to my guy in the building, the youngster. I have to watch my language. You should have told me that. The division. Oh wait, did I just read that? Was it twice? Am I high? Oh, okay. Maybe think the division will even itself out because we will split all teams and make it a tight race. That's how you get to the playoffs. Man, I hope that's the case. Like I said, if we can't beat at least each team in the AFC once, then we have no business even talking about playoffs. Our positive records, in my opinion, like to go even over 500, I think we have to be good enough to beat the teams in our division at least once. Horse and buggy, old school. The Amish lifestyle. Nah, Broncos D is going to be the worst part of this season for y'all. Not even the Chiefs. Yeah, I get it. Don't remind me, man. Come on, don't remind me. But we got something for the Broncos defense. Look, there is not a team in NFL history. There is not a defense or an offense in NFL history. Okay, the Miami Dolphins. I take that back. I digress. That can't be beat, right? That can't be beat. Everybody's beatable. All teams are beatable. With the right scheme, the right coaches, putting guys in the right position, making sure the right personnel, which is absolutely key and is a big problem last year. I thought Amari Gaynor should have been on the field way more than he was. Can I get a AG in the chat if y'all think Amari Gaynor should have been on the field way more than he was last year and should be starting this year? But yeah, man, the Broncos defense is going to be a problem, but I think our offense can combat that, right? No matter how good the Broncos defense is, they have a devastating front, 6, 7, whatever they're going to run up there. I don't know if it's going to be a 4-3, 4-2-5. I don't know what they run, but that front seven is nasty. And the back half is even nastier. However, if they play man, they're going to get cooked. If you're playing man or press coverage with Ashton Genty in the backfield, that's a mistake in my opinion. if you're stacking the box, that's a huge, huge mistake in my opinion. Brock Bowers is going to eat. Jacoby Myers is going to eat. Dante Thornton is going to kill you over the top. Even with all the good players they have, they don't have, and there's not any teams in the NFL that I could think of that have, yes, I'm starting in circles, that have guys physical and fast enough to hang with Dante Thornton on the outside. Now, yes, he has to develop. Yes, he has to prove himself. I get that. But it's not if, it's when for me. When? When is he going to do it? Week 1, week 3, week 5? I hope it's not after that, right? I hope it's not after that. So, as good as the Broncos are, as good as that defense will be, we also have a damn good defense. Our front 4, even 7 is going to be nasty, right? If we bring Jeremy Chin down in the box and run a 4-3, like I believe we're going to, be in our base defense, run a lot of cover 3 packages, Sky Monster, then I think we got a chance. Our defense is going to put pressure on opposing quarterbacks no matter what. If Max Crosby is healthy, he's going to be in the backfield. He's going to cause havoc. You have Malcolm Kuntz on the other side, who, when Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz were on the field last together, Max had his best year. So did Malcolm Kuntz. So, with that being said, I think we have the defense to put pressure on Bo Nix being in the second year. If you go back and look at the 2 games we played them last year, like I said, until halftime, the games were close. We were right there. I thought we were going to win those games. And then the third quarter happened like it happened with the other 17 games. And the Raiders didn't come out. They left everybody in the locker room, and they sent like half of the shells of the players out on the field in the third quarter. And in the fourth quarter, they tried to play. So I don't see that happening this year. The Broncos defense is nasty, but I see us competing, whether it's the Broncos, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's the Philadelphia's defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. I don't see us getting blown out. I don't see us winning or losing any games by more than 10 points this year. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. In the past, I wouldn't say it. I would never make no prediction like that. I probably shouldn't make a prediction like that, not knowing what our secondary is going to be. But unlike the rest of the nation and the rest of the content creators out there, I have a strong belief this year, and I told you it's that gut feeling. And when I get it, I might say crazy shit, but I just don't see us losing a game by more than 10 points this year. I think we're going to be in every game. If we even lose by more than a touchdown, I will be very, very surprised this year. That's how competitive I think we're going to be. It's in Pete Carroll's name. Come Pete, right? It's in the man's last name. It's in the man's name, bro. Pete, come Pete. He says it constantly. His name is in it. It's all over the walls. It's all over the stadium. It's in everything they do. And when you have that in the building, it's infectious, man. Everybody that you've seen give interviews or talk about the Raiders or talk about this coaching staff has the highest, utmost things to say. And I know this interviews, what are they going to come in and say? Pete Carroll's trash. He can't coach. He's 74 years old, and I don't want to be on this team. No, right? They got to come in but I don't see any of these guys not being genuine, right? I feel like a lot of players in this locker room for the first time in a long time are genuine. You get what you see, right? They're not trying to cover shit up. They're going to give it to you straight, like I try to do. And I feel that goes a long way. It goes a long way on the field. It goes a long way in the guys, believing in the guys around him. If the guy is not going to half step, right? He's going to give you 110%. And his word is bond. When that dude speaks, he's not just talking to waste breath or to flap his gums. They're talking for a reason. And I think we have players like that on this team. Way more players. I mean, we've had players like that in the past, but way more players on this team than we've had in recent years. And I think that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for competing. That's going to be huge for confidence. And if that's the case, bro, This team's gonna be nasty. I walked to school uphill both ways through 6 feet of snow. Now get off my lawn. Damn, I did too, but I didn't have shoes. We couldn't afford shoes and socks or gloves. So just saying. Your feet are purple by the time you get to school. It's rough shit. It's rough in these streets growing up, right? Kids nowadays got it so easy. So easy. um, I'm new here and like the vibe though, so I'm gonna drop my sub. Man, I appreciate it, and you're welcome to pull back up anytime you want, as long as you don't listen to piano, man. no, no, you. I can't tell you what to do. No, but for real, man, I appreciate you stopping in. I love the conversation, so you're welcome back anytime. I live in Denver, Colorado. Here, defense is no joke. Pinna, you got to go to some practices and get us some footage, man. Okay, get me some personal footage that I can use on my channel, because you're the godfather, right? If you could do that, I would love you even more. We need some things we can send to the Raiders organization. we need all the help we could get. Pinna OG was riding the high wheel bicycle back when he was a young man. You mean that, like the circus bikes? Bueno, I don't think people actually rode those. I think those are only in a circus. I'm just saying. Yo, motherfuckers, dude, I'll never get through this chat. Jesus. Picking up Greenwall and Hufanga. Oh, with Patrick is going to be scary. Stop. Come on, man. Why are you trying to get my blood boiling? I'm an old man. I can't take this. Can't take this. I have blood pressure problems. Here's my take on that. Greenlaw can't stay on the field, bro. I ain't scared of that, dude. I ain't scared of that dude. He's got one of those curses like the Raiders have, right? Now, if Mr. Greenlaw could get on the field and stay healthy, a lot of teams are in trouble, and we're probably one of them. Because Ashton Genty is not going to want to run into that dude. But he might not want to run into Ashton Genty either. He might silver surf his ass right over the top of him. So I'm not scared with Greenlaw. He's played like, what, 3 games in the last 2 years or some shit? Fuck out of here with that. Hufanga is, on the other hand, that scares me, bro. That scares me. Not scares me. It worries me a little bit. I ain't got no fear. It worries me. It worries me. But like I said, our offense, man, I'm not worried about that. Patrick Surtain, I think Brock Bowers has a little bit of payback that he is hoping to get from last year when he shut him to 43 yards. His worst game as a rookie, worst game in his career. And I'm hoping for that, right? I'm hoping Brock comes out with a chip on his shoulder and teaches the veteran a lesson. I got a lot of hopes this year. Got a lot of hopes. I thought Greenlaw tore his ACL again. Did he? Did he? Shout out to that, man. Good job, my guy. No, that's horrible. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. But I thought I heard something about a hamstring or an injury for Greenlaw also. Which, I ain't worried about that dude. I ain't worried about that dude. No? Okay. But anyways, he's got to show me he can stay on the field first. He came off that injury with the 49ers, stepped on the field, played, 3 snaps, and then tore his knee after the ACL or some shit. However the injury goes, that's not good, man. That's not good. You got to get first over the mental part. Then you got to get over the injury part. And if he can do that, the Broncos are going to be even more nasty. But that's a big, big, big if. Big if. I'm a Niner fan, and we follow Greenlaw heavy. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He was put on the shelf to prevent injury. You still got to get out there and practice, bro. You still got to get out there with your teammates. You got to build chemistry, camaraderie. You got to know the guy next to you tendencies. You got to believe in the guy is going to do his 111. You right? And you can't learn that shit. Smoke a bowl with me right now? Oh, I thought you said smoke a bowl. Who's smoking bowls? I don't know. I got a pin. Robert Penham, my guy, appreciate you rocking with me as long as you could. Have a good night, my guy. Candy, I've been melted. LOL. Wait, what? Melted? You put yourself in the freezer, boy. Put your cold rag, put on your neck, do some shit. I don't know. See you on the next one. I'm smoking out my little BONG. I got sent to me from the weed box. Oh, that little alien thing? That should look like a butt plug, bro. You shouldn't be using that. I would not put my mouth on that. I'm just saying. I don't know why. Excuse my language. There's 18-year-old kids in here. You know what's funny? I'm smoking Hawaiian OG, no lie. Pass that shit to the left-hand side, bro. When PFF and Colin Cowturd singing our praises, it's weird. But when Nick the Dick Wright talks good about us, what the fuck, right? That's 100%, bro. Nick the Chiefs fucking dude, yeah. When he starts saying, you know, something wrong. There's icicles in hell right now. I agree, bro. I agree. When Nick started, you know, when I first heard him say the Raiders were his sleeper team, and he has us possibly competing for the division, bro, I lost my mind. I was like, I don't know if this is good luck, bad karma. But he did say, I believe the Chiefs were going to win a Super Bowl again. So I don't know, but when you see guys that have been Raider haters their whole career starting to buy in because Pete Carroll and Tom Brady, Chip Kelly, you know, grown-ups are in the building now. Guys that are respected, guys that, you know, earn the respect, not just given respect, right? There's a big difference. There's a lot of guys on this in this upper management and guys that I'm forgetting, right? The assistant general manager we brought in, the head of drafting personnel that we brought in. There's a lot of respectable names in this organization. Why guys like Colin Cowturd and, you know, Nick and guys like that are jumping on this bandwagon. Check out the video I posted. Chance to check out and stream daily. I crash out on trolls. You are a crash out. You are a crash out. I think some screens to Genty will be murdered on the defensive side. 1,000%, bro. 1,000%. And I'm glad you brought that up because I've been talking about it a lot. Michael Mayer is going to be a big part of that, right? When you're in 12 and 13 personnel and you're running screens, and don't think you can't run screens out of 12, 13 personnel. I guarantee you, we have the tight ends with the speed that can get from one side of the field to the other. You can put them in motion. And you heard Michael Mayer talk about he's trying to run guys over every play, right? He wants to put guys on their back. And that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Not only the screen game with Ashton Genty, but don't forget, we got guys like Dylan Labe, if he makes this roster, that you could use on wheel routes that's fast, you know, that nobody's going to cover because they're like, this is a total decoy, right? Which I think could be a huge asset. Even Zamir White, when he's in there, they're probably thinking, oh, he's in here to pass protect, right? He's not going to get the ball. So we have a lot of sneaky shit, man. We can do with a lot of players and a lot of guys that can run screens. Yes, Mostert was injured last year, but the year before that, the man had 21 touchdowns, 18 on the ground. So, EMC Daddy 99, what's good? What's good? Sorry I'm late to, I don't know how long you've been in here. The Raiders are going to split with KC. I love it. I love it. Talk that shit. Broncos are going to be the ones to watch in our division. Yeah, I get that. I get that. If we can beat the Broncos one time this year, I believe we're a playoff team. If we could get past the defense of the Broncos, I don't see any of these teams being a threat. I think that's our biggest threat this year, mainly because we play them twice. And secondly, because I think their defense is going to be as good as the Eagles. Now, the Eagles are going to be a threat, right? But our coach is 1-0 against their coach. It could mean something, it could not. To me, the number one position in football is not the athletes on the field. It's the coach. We've seen from Andy Reid, we've seen from these guys like Jimmy Jones, right? Jimmy Johnson, guys, old school that have trophies named after them. Lombardi, even our own Madden, right? Flores. We've seen from these coaches that have solid teams every single year, right? They're never out of it. They can win every single year. When we're going against, guys like the Eagles, where the edge we seen goes to Pete Carroll, right? But then when you play the Broncos, it was even. It was even. Between Sean Payton, they have the same amount of wins, him and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's been to one more Super Bowl. That's going to be a death match, bro. That's going to be a death match. And I can't wait for us to get back to possibly having a chance to, dominating in our division again. And with the teams as good as they are, yes, you have to have a lot go your way. Yes, you have to have the other teams probably have a lot of injuries more than us. But we can, right? KC got exposed badly, very badly. And that was our blueprint. I've been saying that since we beat them on Christmas Day, right? That was the Raiders' blueprint. That was a Patrick Graham defensive scheme. We didn't beat them with offense. We beat them by running the ball. We beat them by running the ball, smash mouth, down their throat, controlling the clock, controlling the possession, and defense. The same way the Eagles did. Rattle Mahomes, make him throw 6 interceptions in a game. I don't think he's ever thrown 6 interceptions or had 6 turnovers in a game? I don't think he's ever in his career had 6 turnovers in a game. That was our blueprint. That was a Patrick Graham, and whether you want to believe it or not, an Antonio Pierce blueprint that we used last year, that we used this the year before last, when we almost beat them again in a low-scoring game. That if it wasn't for a botch snap, we should have won. So I think we had, they've been exposed, and I think we could very well have their number with Pete Carroll being in our corner, man. I think we can. They aren't the big bad wolf anymore. No, they are not. No, they are not. I say y'all go 9-8 this year with Pete. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, seeing our division. But if you look at our schedule and the teams we played and how many of them, 5 to be exact, I think, had worse records than us and picked before us last year, I'll be happy with 9-8. I'll be happy with 9-8. I'm not going to be mad at that. That's a huge turnaround and a huge jump. But that's not meeting my expectations. And usually I don't have expectations on a Raiders team because I've been a fan for 50 years, right? And having expectations. But this year is different. I have expectations. And if they're not met, I'm not going to be let down. But I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed. Cabby, did your bong what? And BD, I don't know what this is. I'm lost. EMAC 99, the AFC West is going to be the toughest division in the NFL. Again, I sure hope so. We had that dude that left us and went to Miami. What do you mean that dude? What? Who? Who left us and went to Miami? The tight end? He went to the Giants first, right? Our offensive line coach? Who are you talking about, Lawrence? I'm confused now. Fucking confused. You versus the Chargers, I'm going to be is going to be fucking epic. Some old school coaching rivalry, right? That's a game that is going to be sold out. Like, if you're trying to get that shit on the internet and you're not paid for NFL package, good luck, because that's just going to be freezing. Rosetown, what's good? Happy to see you in here, my guy. All the AFC West games are going to be matchups. You have older coaches, right? Older by meaning 60 or above, all competing against each other, that have all competed against each other before, that have all been to the Super Bowl, except for one. Wait, did Harbaugh go to the Super Bowl? He made it and lost, didn't he? I don't know. I have to check my stats. All right, I got to get through these. I got to get off this shit. My ass is hurting sitting in this chair. Gruden had a fullback. He went to Miami. Oh, that one. Who was that? Richie? Was that Richie? I believe it was. You don't do IG? I don't know. My email's RaidersRebel75 at Gmail. You can hit me that way. I got a hotline I'm about to put up. You can hit me that way. You can hit me on X. You can DM me on there if you have that. Or you can just find a way and I'll give you my number and you just contact me there, bro. I don't like that. I don't know. I will bring anyone to my channel. But this is about football. What? Oh, I don't know. Raiders still need to fill pieces on defense. Like what pieces? Why am I asking questions? I'm trying to get off of here. Oh my God, Bueno say you have to send an email pigeon to the OG so he can accept the collab. Well, let me hit up my boy Mike Tyson and see if I can get one of his pigeons, and I'll staple that shit to his back and see if we can get hooked up with the OG. You know, we will go through drastic links, bro, on this channel. I'm not kidding. Thornton wide receiver 1? No. Who said that? Eventually he can be. I mean, when you're 6'5", run a 4.3 40, got a little bit of chip on your shoulder. Yeah. To be fair, Bowers was the best tight end in the league with no quarterback. Bowers was the best tight end in the league with 3 quarterbacks. What do you mean? No, he had 3 different quarterbacks, and was the number 1 weapon. No running game, a revolving door for our offensive line. This dude is going to be absolutely freakish with Geno Smith, Chip Kelly, and Pete Carroll. I guarantee you. Jacoby Myers is wide receiver 1, but put some respect on the man. He had no drops last season. You could still be wide receiver 1 and be in the slot, right? It's not where you line up. It's the amount of targets. And if we want to be honest, I mean, number 1 is Brock Bowers. Let's not forget that. Whether he's at tight end, whether he's in the slot, whether he's lined up in the backfield running the ball, the dude is still the number 1 target on this team, right? He is player by far, and it's not even close on the offense. And if he keeps it up, he might be, it might be his franchise very, very soon. I'm just saying. So let's not forget Brock Bowers is that guy. And Jacoby Myers, we've talked about it, he was number 1 last year, and I still feel he's number 1. When if Brock Bowers ain't getting the ball, he's looking Jacoby Myers. If Jacoby Myers is covered, which it really doesn't matter, you still throw him the ball as long as Geno's not under pressure. Because don't be under pressure and try to force the ball to my guys. But he's going to be that guy. Jacoby has something to prove, and I feel if Geno Smith is the quarterback that y'all feel he is, I'm not going to say me, but if he's the quarterback y'all feel he is with the character and the class that, like y'all say he has, and I'm not doubting it, I'm just saying, if that's the case, then Geno should be doing everything to get Jacoby Myers paid next year, right? That's how I feel. If I was the quarterback for the Raiders and I seen what Jacoby Myers did for this franchise and this organization since he's been here, the amount of money he was making, why he was doing what he was doing for this organization, I'd be doing everything in my power to make sure that was my first or second look on every single play, right? Try to get your guys paid, because Jacoby Myers is going to be the security blanket if Brock Bowers is covered. And after that, it's probably going to be checkdowns out of the backfield. I don't think Jack Beck has, earned that yet in camp, and maybe by the season starts, he might. But it's going to take a lot of respect from these wide receivers before Geno starts throwing them the ball. He already knows where number one is. Like I said, it's Brock Bowers. When all else fails, throw to Brock Bowers, right? Your first look should be Brock Bowers. No matter what the play is called, whoever the number one guy is, you should still be looking to see maybe if Brock Bowers open first. That's just me. And then it's Jacoby. But whoever said, Dante Thornton is the number one receiver, that's crazy. That's crazy. Eventually, in the next couple of years, I see him, if he stays healthy and develops like he's already showing he's developing right now, with the interviews he's talked, the character the kid has, he could very well be that number one very, very soon. But it could also be Jack Beck. Again, it could be it could be Mallet for all we know in the next couple of years, bro. We don't know who the number one's going to be. But right now, Jacoby is that guy. This is still his offense. And Brock Bowers. All the storylines lead to us in the Super Bowl against the Detroit Lions. I've seen those storylines, and I got to do a little bit more homework. I just watched it. I wasn't taking notes. So maybe if there's time tomorrow after the roster breakdown, which this live went way too fucking long. I didn't expect too many people to be in here talking. But I can't leave my people when they're talking. And yes, a lot of the scenarios, the color schemes, a lot of that shit points to the Detroit Lions and the Raiders being in the Super Bowl. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it 100%. I think we're well times infinity overdue to make the fucking playoffs, dude. It's been way too long, and I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not waiting. That's why my predictions, that's why I'm on this team the way I am. That's why I'm bought in, sipping the Kool-Aid this year, because I think this is the year, man. This is the year. We have the quarterback. We have the running back. Some people said earlier we still need some things on defense. I don't feel that way. I feel totally different. I think this defense has a chance to be top 15, top 10 defense, really, with the players we have right now, if they stay healthy. Eric Stokes, you got some work to do. But if you're not that guy, Jacorian Bennett is right behind him. If not, DeCamarion Richardson is right behind him. If not, Sam Webb, if he makes his team, is right behind him. So there's pressure, there's competition, and competition brings the best out of everybody. That's why I feel like we didn't go out and get no big names. We could have went and got Jair Alexander. For the money, we should have went and got Jair Alexander. I was huge on bringing in that guy, no matter what the injury situation is. Jalen Ramsey. We probably should have went and got Jalen Ramsey, but when they ended up paying him more money than he was getting, I was totally out on that. Totally out. So the fact that they didn't go get a veteran corner tells me that Pete Carroll, Marcus Robinson, my guy Woods, has all the belief in the world in these guys, at least going into camp. Now they might disappoint going into camp, and we might have no choice but to go out and sign somebody. But who do we sign, right? All the free agents are going to be gone by then. I believe Mike Hilton is still out there. That is a guy I would go get to play the slot right away. A trade that I have that I probably shouldn't be bringing up because I probably should be talking about it tomorrow. But Jamel Beal, right? The slot corner from, I think that's how you say it. I might just fucking totally butchered that. But Jamel Beal, the slot corner from the Tampa Bay Bucks, he has ties with our general manager, right? And John Spytek. Spytek was a big key in bringing him in to that organization. The man has a 78% coverage rating against in the last 3 years, I do believe, for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So if a guy like Jacorian Bennett is not that guy that Pete Carroll, sees or believes can be that guy, if he doesn't have faith in Jacorian Bennett taking that next step, and maybe that's why he's on the second, getting second team reps. And again, that could just all be a hoax, right? If they're not going to try him at the slot, trade him, bro. Trade him. I hate to say it, but trade Jacorian Bennett, throw him in a package, go get a guy that's played in the slot, that's been there and done that. And Beal, I think it would be a huge, huge asset for this team. So, we have options. There's a lot of teams that have a lot of depth that we can go trade for if we have to, if it comes down to that. But I think deeply in my heart that the coaching staff feels like I feel about these defensive backs. And I might be the only one on the planet besides these coaching staff, because I haven't heard anybody say anything good. Like, that's the biggest question we have. And yes, it's a question, but the questions will be answered very, very soon, man. Very, very soon, for the better. I think Piano Man is a Raider fan behind the scenes. I mean, just come out of the closet already then. You think he's trash? Who? Dante Thornton? Who are you talking about? Gang 86? Who are you talking about? Why do I keep asking questions? I got to read these fucking chat. I got to get through here. Rick, my guy, what's good? Missed you in the chats. It's been a minute. 1,200, not 2,000. 2,000 sounds good. I'm gonna go with 2,000. Jency, I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say. I probably shouldn't have said anything either. I'm the worst when it comes to jinxing the Raiders, man. That's why I'm turning a new leaf and making crazy predictions. No, I'm just kidding. $2,000 is flipping crazy, right? Look, it can be done. It can be done. No, it's not a running league like it used to, but yes, there is a lot of changes, to the NFL. Penalty-wise, defensive-wise. And I think all of us are forgetting the fact. I think Spytek said it best. You had a guy that was 30 yards away from breaking the greatest running back in the history of college football and professional football's record in Barry Sanders. That doesn't happen by a fluke. It doesn't happen. I don't want to hear all that nonsense about small school, all that bullshit. A small conference. This kid is generational. And generational guys not always do generational things, right? But some do. Look at my guy last year in JD5. Did anybody really, really believe that he was going to take that team to the NFC Championship and be one game away from the Super Bowl? I mean, honestly, anybody in here, anybody that's going to watch this, comment afterwards, did anybody believe that JD5 was going to step right in and take a 4-13 team in the Washington Commanders to the NFC Championship? If you did, shout out to you. But damn, you're probably lying and your feet stink too. Because I just don't see anybody seeing that. I knew he was going to be good. I knew, he was going to compete for Rookie of the Year. If they got rid of the sacks and they got rid of, they changed that number around of being under pressure, he went from being one of the worst college quarterbacks under pressure. And yes, even with his stats, 43 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, number wise, if you break down the numbers at LSU under pressure, he was one of the worst quarterbacks. The Washington Commanders changed that in 1 year. Last year, under pressure, JD5 was the best quarterback in the NFL, and it wasn't even close. That's a rookie. So when you have guys like that are generational, that are talented, that go to well-coached teams, right? A team that had 3 former coaches on that staff, kind of like the Raiders have 3 or 4 former head coaches on the staff. I believe it's 4. You can turn a guy around like that, right? You can make a guy have crazy numbers. And I wouldn't put it past, Ashton Genty to not only be competing for the Rookie of the Year if he's healthy, but to win the Rookie of the Year and probably shock a lot of people, right? Because let's be honest, the last person to run for I don't even know. I'll have to look it up and bring it up tomorrow. But the last person to run for more than 1,200 yards as a rookie, I believe was Saquon Barkley. Now, I could be wrong. And before that, I don't even know. I know Josh Jacobs was Rookie of the Year, but it wasn't no 1,200 yards, right? I think it was close, a little over 1,000. So it's, yes, 2,000 yards is absolutely ridiculous, but it's not like a unicorn, right? It's not something that doesn't exist. I mean, it could happen. And nowadays in the NFL, probably not. But you never know. You never know. What if Pete Carroll is grooming his son to grow with us to be our Raiders future head coach? I've seen that. I've heard the talks about that. And that could be possible. It could be possible. I don't know. Maybe in 3 years he can be. But I feel like to be a head coach in the NFL, you have to at least have been a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator, right? Not just an O-line coach, not just a running back coach, which I believe he was the O-line coach and the running back coach in Washington State last year. He's been a part of offenses with Pete Carroll before in Seattle for a long, long time, but he's never had that offensive coordinator job or that defensive coordinator job. And it's hard for guys to be head coaches in the NFL, I feel, without having that experience. You have to at least know what it's like to have all the pressure on you to at least run one side of the ball. When you're a head coach, you're running both sides of the ball. So can Brandon Carroll, be that guy? Possibly. But I would see the Raiders going with a guy more like a Patrick Graham, more like Chip Kelly. I believe if anybody's, successor is if Chip Kelly can have success as an offensive coordinator, bring this ship back to a float, get us competitive again. I don't see why he wouldn't be the guy, in the conversation, at least getting interviews, right? Well, who knows, man? Who knows? I wouldn't mind seeing guys like Luke Steckel, who's our tight end coach. But again, when you're only a position coach, it's hard to go from a position coach to a head coach. Now, guys have done it before. There's been a lot of guys that have done it. I mean, more than a lot of guys, right? But for me, I just feel like you need that experience. So, and not only Brandon Carroll, but Nathan Carroll also. Nathan Carroll, I believe, has more experience than Brandon, right? When it comes to personnel-wise, running offenses, he's done more of that type. So he could also be in that mix also. But I don't think that's the, the goal of the future. I really don't. Now, it could be, but I do believe the goal is definitely to try to develop somebody, in the building to take on that role. And whether it's Patrick Graham, like I said, whether it's Chip Kelly, or whether it's a guy like Robbie Leonard, right? Defensive line coach, who's done wonders for us, who's now taken on the responsibilities of being the the defensive run game coordinator. He could be another guy that, could be in those talks in the next 3 years. He could also be in the talks to be the defensive coordinator if Patrick Graham, doesn't have this defense keeping up with our offense this year. Running in college is nothing like running against NFL defense, so I honestly can say 1,200 yards for his first year, and first-year NFL coaching staff is really good in my opinion. 12,000 yards is fucking retarded, or 2,000 yards. I didn't say it. I said there's a possibility. I didn't say he was going to run for 12. And retarded is not a nice word, bro. That's horrible. And if he does run for 2,000 yards, don't think I'm going to be on here saying, I said it. I said he was going to run for 2,000. No. But I will be saying, I said it was possible. Right? And 2,000 yards would be stupid, bro. Would be stupid. And we win the Super Bowl. I guarantee you. I'll put money on that shit right now if anybody wants to bet. If he runs for 2,000 yards, there's no way we don't make the Super Bowl. No way, bro. No way. And that would be the greatest pick in the history of drafting, right? To get a guy at number 6 that comes in, runs for 2,000 yards in his first year. Could you imagine the talk and the upside of this franchise would be? Good Lord. You're getting all kinds of new fans today, Rebel. That's awesome. I appreciate all the new people dropping in the building. If I didn't get to you, I'm just trying to get off here, dude. I'm sweating. Like, I don't even say that. Yes, Blinker tilted that shit. It did. It did. It did. Maybe this one will set it straight. I'm not knowledgeable. I just guess. Donkeys finishing last in the division. Okay. Shit. Preach that truth talk. Put that shit in the air. Like that smoke I was blowing. I would love to see that, bro. I would love to see that. You know what I would love to see even more? If the Raiders go back to clapping that ass like we did 4 years in a row, 8 games in a row, right? We made them our donkey bitch. not like the donkey shows in Mexico. Calm down. Don't get wild. But yeah, the donkeys were a bitch for a long time. We dominated them like Andy Reid dominates cheeseburgers. I mean, viciously. And I would love to see that. Would love to see that again. But I don't know, man. I don't know. If they finish last in the division, I could tell you why right now. Bo Nix had a sophomore slump. RJ Harvey was not the running back everybody thought in the draft. Who did they draft? What receiver did they draft? Whoever they drafted at receiver probably broke his leg and didn't play the whole season. And the rest of the team was banged up very, very bad because their roster, not only starting wise, but depth wise, is nasty, bro. We'll go over it Thursday. Thursday, we'll go over the AFC West roster. Tomorrow, my 2 cents was good. Sorry, I didn't catch you. Daryl was good. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll go over it tomorrow. We're breaking down the roster. And if we have time, probably won't have time. So it'll probably be Thursday or Friday. We will go over the AFC West, how deep their roster is compared to the Raiders. It's It's night and day, bro. They are deep, deep and cold too. Jacoby Myers only shows up when it's time to screw up the Raiders draft order. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I'm not blonde, but sometimes it takes me a minute. I get you. He had big games when we needed him to not have big games, so we could have lost. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. But you also have to take into account he had Aiden O'Connell, the cerebral assassin, throwing him the ball, man. It makes all the difference in the world. Chemistry, right? Chemistry. His best game is when was when AOC was out there. I'm just saying. And Jacoby showed up all year, 0 drops. How could you even say that as a Raider fan? How could you say that? He only shows up to screw up the draft order. Come on, man. Come on. That's cold. Why you want to do Jacoby like that? The man had 1,000 yards with 3 different quarterbacks throwing him the ball. Somebody let me know in the chat. Is that the first time in history that a wide receiver has had 1,000 yards with 3 different quarterbacks? I don't know how to get that stat. I'm going to have to figure it out. Maybe ChatGPT could help me. But that's cold, man. 1,000 yards, 0 drops, and you still get no love. You're still not signed. You still can't get a contract. People still think you're not number one. Damn. Jacoby Myers has become the Rodney Dangerfield of Raider Nation. The man can't get no respect. What the fuck is going on here? What is up with y'all? Poor Jacoby Myers, dude. Y'all are killing my guy. I've been saying he's the number 1 receiver for 2 years now. I said 2 years ago there was a very big chance that he could have a better year than Devontae Adams if he got as many receptions. He didn't get as many receptions, but he had as many touchdowns. So Jacoby Myers is so underrated, bro. So underrated. Lakeshore, what are you talking about? We drafted the best running back out of college, Jacoby Myers. Ooh, excuse me, and Brock Bowers. We're the only positives in our whole offense. Come on, man. What about Aiden O'Connell? Can't say no. I'm just kidding. Can't say that. Yeah, the only bright spots we had were the 2 guys that had over 1,000 yards with 3 quarterbacks throwing them the ball. 3 quarterbacks. That's crazy. Lakeshore, I hope you aren't a fan of LeBron. Damn, I'm that far behind. Holy shit, I'm gonna be on here till midnight. I cannot wait to see how the O-line stacks up. Candy Angel, I'm so nervous about it. Good point. Candy Angel, I'm not gonna read your comments because because I talk to you 80,000 times a day. No, I'm just kidding. That's why my mom said she walked uphill both ways. Yeah, that's what everybody's mom said. All right, let's get to these. My mom, that's not football related. No, Greenlaw loves death. Wait, what are you talking about? 3 games, laughing my ass off. He didn't play in many. To clap. I said I take it back, bro. Don't get all panties twisted and shit. Fuck. And sometimes I could be a dick. I'm just saying. When it comes to my Raiders, bro, I want all the advantages I can get. I never wish nobody injuries, but if they happen, they happen. And I took it back, man. I took it back. I'm sorry, Trey Greenlaw. I'm sorry for your ass not being able to stay on the damn football field and be healthy. That's what I'm sorry about. Damn, the Niners fan likes Pete. That's crazy. I will clap for that. I got no bell or nothing to ring or no fucking sounds. I got to get my shit together. Hitting the bong with you again. What are you talking about? Your alien butt probing bong. Fuck, it's nasty. Did you post a bong review yet? I believe she did. I don't know if she posted it, but I know she was editing, called me 80,000 times to show me the damn stupid thing. All right. Austin, I will watch it. Okay, so I'm way behind. No wonder nobody watches my videos. I'll be asleep late night because I'm old. Shout out the $20 holla. What? Is this the same one? Did I fucking do this? Much love. I'm here doing my homework. No, it is another one. Your daddy is gonna whoop your ass. I'm telling you, spending all his money on them credit cards. But shout out. I need it. I need to keep the lights on because you see my bright ass forehead. I don't know what I gotta do, bro. If I buy one more light that doesn't work, I'm gonna die. Anybody got any suggestions? Anybody know a light that I could put to light up the green screen and not make my face white? Let me know in the comments below. I mean, I know I'm white, but I'm not this white, really. See, look, my arm is different. I think he knows, just forgets I'm a kid in college. What happened? Oh, yeah, I know. I think he's told me that like 3 times. I don't know why I started thinking you were a female. Maybe it was something you said one time or something. I don't know. You can never type anyways. Low key, liking people underestimating the Chiefs this year. We may suck, but probably won't. Y'all ain't gonna suck, bro. Y'all ain't gonna suck. But you're gonna have a hard ass time because you have a rough schedule. You have a lot of traveling to do. And you have a lot of questions on the offensive line. Who's going to be that running back? You know, is your guy going to come back and be that guy again? Which, God, I hope not. Where you at with, Jones on the defensive line? He's getting up there. There's a lot of questions. Whoever replaced Snead last year, can he be that guy again this year? He overachieved last year, which I was sick to my stomach. I thought losing Snead was going to be a big, big problem for you guys. So, yeah, you probably won't. You're right. You probably won't. But like somebody said earlier, not me, somebody, I don't know. The fuck was I going to say? Oh, yeah. You can't be good forever, man. You can't be good forever. And there's a lot of questions. I don't know anything, but I see how they win a lot. You should know most of their fans are females under the age of 13. I'm just kidding. They are all good 1% of elite athletes. 100%. It's that mental, right? It's that mental. Coin flips and key plays, like turnovers, man. Turnovers. We've had a problem winning the turnover battle for many, many moons, and it's plagued this franchise. I don't even think since Charles Woodson left, since Nnamdi Asomugha, and even then we didn't get a lot of turnovers. I mean, I don't know what it is. We've never been a real big turnover team except for the 70s and 80s. Here's a hot take. Eagles don't make it back. Here's another hot take. Because the Raiders beat them in week, what do we play? 15? I'm making up nonsense now. But no, I could see that. I could see the Eagles, for a team to make it back to the Super Bowl, you got to have a dynasty, which they have. They have elite players all across the board. They drafted ridiculously well. I mean, it's unfannable how good they've drafted in the last 5 years, right? It's sickening. And then to keep all those guys in the building like the Tampa Bay Bucks have done, with their 53 out of, 43 out of 53 guys drafted in-house in the building, people seem to forget, what a difference that makes. It makes a huge, huge difference. And making it back to the Super Bowl is one of the is probably more difficult than making it there the first time, right? Because you lose so many guys. You have a target on your back. How about Michael Mayer? Michael Mayer's going to be a dog. He's going to be a huge asset for this offense. I'm telling you, he's going to have his best season as a Raider, and people are going to be shocked. They're like, how can you even imagine Michael Mayer having his best year as a Raider with all the weapons we have? That's why, because we have a lot of weapons. And when you start double teaming other guys and you run a lot of 12 personnel, which I believe we're going to do, Michael Mayer is going to be one of those guys that's, low key open all the time. He's going to be the sneaky link, right? Not that kind of sneaky link. Raiders dodge a bullet or missed out on Jair Alexander. Man, y'all gonna come with these questions all night. I love y'all. That remains to be seen. If you want my honest opinion, I need to get something to drink. I gotta get something to drink. Good thing the fridge is not far. Ooh, heck. All right. I think I just messed up the green screen. But yeah, in my honest opinion, I think we made a mistake. Now, I made that key. Where the hell is this green screen behind me? I've made this point before. Get back over there. All right. Fucked everything up. I made this point before. Even if he plays 8 games for the money he was paid, what, $6 million? Come on, man. Come on. I'll pay him. I would have paid him $2 million a game if he could have just helped us for those 8 games, if he would have stayed healthy. That's me. Now, a lot of people didn't feel that way. A lot of people were worried about the injuries. But Pete Carroll is the DB whisperer. With that fact, the fact that we haven't heard anybody getting injured so far in practice, knock on wood, shows that, these guys are doing everything they can to get their body in shape, prepared for the season this year because of the injuries we had last year. So to me, for the money, it was a miss, bro. It was a miss on Jair Alexander. Now, if he gets injured and only plays 2-3 games, then I'm going to look like a fool for saying it. But I don't believe that's the case. I think that team, if they don't go to the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to be very, very surprised. And if that man plays 17 games, that defense is 20 times better with him out there, right? 20 times better. Jair Alexander was the best cornerback on the market for sure. He was. But he's also a guy that hasn't played a full season, right? Drafted in the first round. Has all the assets and all the, attributes you want as a corner. Probably not a Pete Carroll type guy, right? If you look at it, the size-wise and shit like that, he doesn't really fit Pete Carroll's MO. But when you're that good, I mean, shit, pay him the money, put him in the slot, bro. I don't care. We need help, and guys like that help teams. So I would have paid him the money. It was a ridiculous amount of money. Like I said, they didn't even steal. It was completely highway robbery to get him at that price. So I think it was a miss. I think it was a huge, huge miss. But we didn't because the Raiders are cheap. I don't know if we're cheap, bro. I wouldn't say that. Frugal. Yeah, there's a difference between cheap and frugal. Frugal means you're paying attention to your finances. You're up on your game, right? And anybody should be. When you're running an NFL franchise, you got to prepare for the worst. You don't know when you have to bring in guys off of free agency and sign them to a contract, right? You got to have money on the books, and these guys and these teams that don't and that are under, that are taking salary cap hits and hurting every single year when they have injuries, their seasons are done because they can't replace them. They have to replace them with bottom barrel guys. So I think we're being smart with our money. I think there's a big difference between, being cheap and being frugal. Frugal means you're just managing your shit well. And I think that's what Spytek is doing. And the guys that they brought in the building, the contracts we've signed, even the Max Crosby and the Geno Smith was way too much money, in my opinion. But the way they got to sign the contract, right? You can get out of it in 2 years. You can get out of Geno's next year if you really want to. You just paid a ridiculous amount of money for one season. But if it doesn't work out, or they find something better, in the draft because it didn't work out and we're drafting high again, then yeah. But I like what Spytek's done, man. I've been a huge believer in, what Spytek's done so far, the contracts that he signed, the guys that they've brought in the building. I'm definitely impressed. Injury prone, dodged a bullet on Jair. I mean, I hope for the Raiders' sake, right? For the sake of my franchise. And again, I don't want to clap when nobody gets hurt. Some people might get upset, get in their feelings. But I hope for their sake, for the Raiders' sake, right, that maybe he doesn't stay healthy, because then it's going to look bad. It looks bad. We missed. And if that's our biggest problem, like if we're getting constantly cooked and barbecue chicken out there on the field, in the middle of the field or over the top, then it's really going to look bad, But the Raiders have been in that situation before. We've looked bad for many, many years. I just feel in the right situation, right, with the right training staff and the right coaching staff, if you can get the best Jair Alexander for even half a season, it's worth it. I mean, he went from being a $20 million guy, right, to $6 million. Like, it's worth it. Why trade away a cornerback who has potential on the defense and man coverage? With Jacorian Bennett? I'm a big Jacorian Bennett fan, if that's what you're talking about. I know I'm way behind in this chat. I'm just going to guess. I'm not trying to trade him away. I'm saying if Pete Carroll's going to have him not in the rotation, right, being second team where he's only out there in certain packages, to me, that's a waste of Jacorian Bennett's talent. He was our best corner the last year, and possibly even the year before that as a rookie. Okay, not as a rookie. He wasn't our best. But last year, he was our best corner. Rookie year, he had some injuries. He made some mistakes. He was taken off the field a little bit too early, in my opinion. But last year, he showed he's that dog, right, in coverage. But he's not a tackler. The Raiders, when you run a lot of 4-3 and you're going to run a lot of cover 3 zone packages, your corners have to be able to tackle. And Jacorian Bennett hasn't proved that yet. Now, I love the kid. Again, once a Raider, always a Raider, drafted a Raider. I am one of the highest, firmest believers that if you're drafted a Raider, you should be given every opportunity, to develop. And then when that contract's up, if they're not, then you get rid of them. But you never get rid of anybody you draft or bring in this building unless they're just blatantly, work ethic is trash, or you made a horrible mistake. And most teams don't want to admit that, and they try to ride it out. But I feel like if you draft a guy, unless like the Raiders, you have a new coach every single year, then those guys kind of get lost in the shuffle, right? I didn't draft them, right? Let's try to move on from them. Let's try to get something else and bring in guys that fit my shit, which is what the Raiders have been going through for year after year after year after year after year since we've been in the Super Bowl. I mean, nonstop. The turnover is ridiculous on the coaching staff. So you can't draft guys and develop guys. And I think that's a huge problem. So, Jacorian Bennett, I want on this team. I don't want to see him go nowhere. But when you have 4 guys that can play the outside, and you have nobody so far. And this can all change when camp starts, right? But so far, we haven't found anybody, or they haven't said that they found anybody, because if they found somebody, they would be trying them a lot more on the first team reps. Instead, in the slot and the nickel position, it has been everybody. It has been everybody. They're trying to find somebody to stick. They're throwing shit at a wall and hoping something will stick. And so far, they haven't found that guy. So if you haven't found that slot guy and you're not willing to use Ja'Cory and Bennett at that slot position, whether he was drafted a Raider, whether he's the best corner or not, if you're not going to use him and he's not going to be on the field, why have him on a roster taking up a roster spot when you can potentially trade for a guy that has proven to be a slot corner, that is not only proven to be a slot corner, but has shown to potential to be a shut down slot corner with very, very high grades, not just 1 year, but 3 years in a row consistently. So if you have a guy that you can go fill a need, a position of need, that has proven he can do it consistently on another team, and your general manager who is just brought over knows that, I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. Genty rushes for 1,000 yards or more his rookie year. Wait and see. I agree. I agree. You know, if Genty doesn't go over 1,000 yards, 2 things happened. He was way overhyped, and he's not that guy. Okay, 3 things happened. My bad. Not just 2, right? He was way overhyped, and he just played lesser competition in college, like everybody says. And that could possibly be a case. We don't know. I don't agree with that, but agree to disagree. Then he gets injured and doesn't play the whole entire season. As a, you know, I don't see him making 1,000 yards if he doesn't play every single game, or at least close to every single game. And third, our offensive line is just trash. Now, those are the only 3 things that I see that can happen: injury, right? Overhyped, or a bad offensive line that keeps him from getting 1,000 yards. Now, if we have a solid offensive line, it don't even have to be great, because he's proven in college. And yes, somebody said earlier, running in college is different than the NFL. I mean, I agree 1,000%. We all know that. These are 1% of 1%ers. They're bigger, stronger, faster, more physical, more smarter. You know, this is their job. In college, you have tests to study for. You have finals to study for. You have to learn, you know, whatever. You have to do homework. You have exams. You have a bunch of shit that you have to process. And you have, you know, other stuff going on that you're not getting paid for. And then you have football pretty much second, right? Because if you don't have your grades in college, you don't play football. So when you get to the NFL, guys get paid for this shit. This is their job. If they're not in their books and know everybody around them job and their job and know what the plays are coming, then, you know, shit, you're just not that dude, and you don't have that dog in you. So I just, like I said, that's the only 3 ways he doesn't rush for 1,000 yards, in my opinion. Hard R word. I love it. What was the R word? I don't know. My 2 cents. What's good? What's good? She meant unleash, so can't type tonight. Oh, shit. To be fair, my name used to be Unleashing Addiction, and I made a channel about family member who died from addiction. Oh. And then you changed it to represent the Raiders? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. And prayers for you and the family member. Look at you trying to make somebody blush and shit. Wait, butt probe. Okay, there's the blushing just went away completely. Fuck. What are you talking about? How do you go from that to I'm not even gonna ask. I'm just skipping your conversations. I gotta read all these so I can get out of here. That was me that said you can't be good forever, but you probably won't get to this. No, I got to it. I'm trying like hell. The salary cap is picking in the draft means you can't stay good. Right? Blaney's working out. Facts. Blinky's working out. They working out well. Gotta love them blinkies. My daughter gave my wife and a glass heart shaped bong that said we bong together. Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Right? All right. Jason Ruiz, what's good? How long and deep is this chat? That's what she said. I need a cigarette. Oh, good. I'm to the bottom. Thank God. Shout out to everybody in the building. Go Cowgirls. Um, the only Cowgirls I like are the ones with boots, short skirts, and big titties. If you're wearing blue, you got a star on your helmet. I am not down with that kind of cowgirl. but but the other cowgirls, yeah, I love me some cowgirls. Whoo, ain't nothing like a southern accent with boots, shorts, and skirts. Oh, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Uh he is missing the butt probe bong. Huh? I'm not missing nothing, bro. I'm not missing nothing at all. All right, man. So what am I gonna leave us with tonight? I don't know. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments who y'all want to see on the show, man. I got some stuff I'm working on. Some people that have agreed to come on the show a while back that I'll just kind of blow off and feel bad about. I need to get my guy Chiefs fan 1969 on the show. Um, you said your IG was the same as your name, right? All right, I think I got that. Right. Um, so yeah, shout out to everybody that rocked with me. The ones that didn't make it this whole time, shame on you. Shame on you. You should never have better things to do. Y'all know how I'm kidding. But much love. Appreciate y'all. And I'm going to go out with this. Is the Raiders at 12-5 really that far away? Or is it a lot closer than we think? With predictions like Vinny Bonsignor gave, where he has us in 11 games, our coaching staff being better than their coaching staff. Now, again, it comes down to personnel and physicality. But we all know the Raiders' biggest problem has been consistent coaches, coaching staff, and consistency. With Pete Carroll in the building, let me know in the comments after this live or after you watch this live, is 12-5 really that far away? Much love. Peace out. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. As always, see y'all tomorrow. Don't forget where we break down the roster. Who makes it? Who doesn't make it? You think I know? I bet I do. No, I don't know. But find out if I do. Peace. Love y'all.